A question for you all today from today's sponsor. Can you give your money to a bookie and not gamble? Well, you'd be surprised to hear that the answer actually is yes. Yes, you can. Through something called match betting, it's possible to know your profit before an event even starts. How? By using two bookmakers' offers against each other. You know the offers. Sign up and get a £20 bonus here, sign up and get a £40 bonus there. You can use Profit Accumulator's website to find these offers in seconds and use them against each other to make a steady profit each month.
So what does Profit Accumulator do and how does it work? Well, it works with something called match betting. Match betting allows you to put a bet on multiple outcomes of an event and come away with a profit using their advanced algorithm and system that you can access for free. The best thing is they have a step-by-step guide when you sign up on how to make a steady profit each month, and they will even help you pick the best bets.
Check out their free trial in the link below. Very fancy.
Hello everyone and welcome to my favourite time of the week, Friday night pint. My name's Nicky Hawkins. I'm obviously joined by my regular co-host. There's only three of us tonight, boys. Ryan and Scotty's here. No Dan, no Graham, but we'll make it work. We'll make it work. How are you today?
Yeah, no Dan, no Graham, no party in my eyes. I'm all right, mate. As I was saying to you just before we come on, I've come home to like all my fence being knocked down by the wind, which I didn't really need, to be fair. But yeah, I'm getting it sorted. But apart from that, yeah, it's been all right. I've been all right.
Scott, did you get caught in the wind today?
Yeah, I got stuck in traffic trying to get home. The amount of roads that were shut and stuff like that, it's been a nightmare.
God, the amount like driving home from work to my house, the amount of walls that I see knocked down and fences and trees, and it was like driving through Will Smith in that film Legend when he drives through New York and everything's like all knocked down and like a disaster film. Like, yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah, to be fair, I had been out. I went to the shop earlier. It was windy, but most of that's happened in my garden. Is a few things have blown about. A couple of plastic sheds have been blown to smithereens, but I've had that before. I'll just go back out there and build them up again tomorrow. But one of them ain't looking good this time, so it might need a few replacement parts. But it is what it is. I hope this is the end of it. It doesn't seem too windy out now.
I think it's died. I just went out the garden just before we come on here, just to double check, see if anyone's put me fence up, like little elves come out and help me or something. But no, it's still laying there on the floor. So
was you waiting for the wind to change direction and blow it back up?
Yeah, I wish. But yeah, no, look, it's one of them things. It can't be helped, mate. I'd rather lose a couple of fence panels than anything else really rather serious. So
some of the videos I've seen, you've seen a video of the bus. The tree just comes down right as the bus is just going along. The tree just falls right in front of it, smashes the entire bus, like the front of the bus, to pieces.
Mate, I tell you, you can't fuck with nature. That's one thing you can't fuck with. You cannot fuck with nature. It does jobs that would take humans, like the amount of trees I've seen coming down before. Imagine how long it takes to chop down a tree and a bit of wind just blows it out the roof, mate. 1,000 years worth of roof. Gosh, that's it. Over. Gone. Done. Yeah. Madness, mate, madness. If you're in the chat and you're welcome to everyone in the chat, by the way. Profit Accumulator is a sponsor for today's video, as you see at the beginning. There's a free trial, so just go and click the link in the description down below and download the free trial. It really helps out the channel. If you do that, they might renew and you get to see more of my lovely face. So that's to them. Let's get straight to the subjects, boys. I mean, there isn't much to go on this week. There isn't an awful lot to go on West Ham news, but it seems like David Moyes has finally started to tell Mikel Antonio he's got to start scoring, otherwise he may find himself out of the team. What do you think of that?
I don't think Moyes really had to tell Antonio that. I think Antonio knows that himself. He's obviously under a lot of pressure. I mean, we spoke a little bit about on the podcast during the week. He is under a little bit of pressure. He's frustrating. You know, when he's in a good run of form, Antonio's one of the best players on the pitch. He still works hard. You know, he does a lot of running, but he's in a dreadful run of form at the moment. And as we said, not getting that striker in January to put that little bit of pressure on him. But then again, look, Bowen's in really good form. So David Moyes can move it around and he can put Bowen up top and bring Ben Rama in and maybe drop Antonio to the bench, and maybe that's what he might need. Maybe we might need an angry Antonio coming off the bench. Rah!
The problem is just the lack of competition, and that's the real kicker. The fact of, I said it in the preview that we need big performances from big players, and he's one of the players now that we need. The form, the form of late of probably 90% of the team's not been good enough. Let's be honest. And he's the figurehead, he's the spearhead, he's the one that leads that line, and he isn't doing it. Against Leicester, I thought he was absolutely pointless being on the pitch. He done nothing. He doesn't offer anything. The players around him don't seem to get the ball to him quick enough when he does offer to it. He needs somebody there to take the pressure off him. And I think Bowen has been taking the pressure off. I think that Bowen's form has sort of put Antonio's performances under the radar a lot because people haven't been noticing that. And, he's not the only one. I'm not, I know, you've said about it because what Moyes has come out and said. But let's be honest, he's not the only one under fire at the minute. Souček, Soufal, Creswell. I haven't seen you guys since Leicester, but what the hell was Creswell doing for both goals? To be honest, and this is the thing. I think we're getting dragged through by the likes of Rice and Bowen week after week, and sooner or later that luck's going to run out, and these players need to start stepping up to the plate.
Well, I think it's and I said this during the week. I think it's harsh on him. I think it's harsh. As I said, he's not a natural centre forward. I've said that many times. He might be developing into one, but he's not a natural centre forward. There's no competition. As Ryan rightly said, Bowen's in a good run of form. But what do? Because Antonio isn't in a good run of form, obviously you can bring Ben Rama in and drop Antonio down. But do you move Bowen from where he's been scoring? Because I don't think that would be a good idea, because the centre forward, I know he plays well at centre forward, but the centre forward role is a very high pressured role. It requires a lot more than what you do on the wing, and not in terms of work, but
double the pressure as well when you're the only one.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's a bit ill. What's the word? Ill-informed to do that to Antonio, because he's asked for competition and they didn't give it to him. He's asked for help, they didn't give it to him. He's not a centre forward. We rely on him week in, week out. The pressure is heaping on him. Every week he doesn't score, he's going to feel more and more pressure. I can see what Moyes is trying to do, but I think a lot of the pressure on him is created by him, because he's had a year to find a good centre forward. And you can say what you want about January, but we sold Haller last January. He had a summer to go and bring one in. He's had the January to come and bring one in, and they have no. It doesn't look like they've got a plan through that they want through the door. So I think that it's a lot to do with them not buying anyone rather than Antonio not scoring. This was always going to happen.
I think someone just said there as well that it's not only Antonio. You've got Soufal, who's a bad runner form. You've got Souček as well, but they go a little bit more unnoticed because there's a lot of pressure on a striker to score goals. And if he's not scoring goals, the highlights on him. If Souček has a bad game or misses a header, people forget about that. But when Antonio goes 5, 6, 7, 8 games without a goal, then that's what's going to happen. People are going to get on his back. And I agree. I do feel a bit sorry for him because he is getting a lot of pressure put on him.
Yeah, I think it's unnecessary pressure. I don't know whether this will help him or hinder him. This is the thing. If he's got the manager in the press now talking bollocks about him, is it going to think, oh God, it really is coming to the forefront, and I need to start doing this and put more pressure on him? Or would it think, right, no, I've got to get going now?
Yeah, I think that's what he'll do. I think he'll take that on board, and I'm sure Moisey and Declan Rice and Noble, I'm sure they all get in Antonio's ear and say to him, and Antonio's that sort of player that he'll take it on the chin. He knows he's not in a good run of form, but if Antonio, like he did the other season, ends the season on a good run of form and goes on and finds himself in that, he could fire us into Europe this season.
The thing for me is, and I said this in the preview, we're sitting here saying about the pressure that's on Antonio because his performances are not good. I said there with the likes of Souček, Krezi and Soufal not performing well, we're still fifth in the league. And the crazy thing is, this poor run of form for certain players is the reason we're not fourth in the league. You know, that's the crazy thing about it, because these silly mistakes are creeping in and the lack of performances that we expect from certain players. You know, for me, Antonio isn't working at the work rate Antonio can work at, if you get what I mean. You can excuse poor form if he's putting a shift in. For me, against Leicester, in my opinion, he didn't put a shift in. You know, and he wasn't doing the dirty work of when things are not... We've all said it, haven't we? When things are not going right, so long as you put that effort in and put that work, and it, you know, whether you're chasing down channels, shutting down players, whatever it is, that will then overshadow the poor game.
As well, Scott, have you noticed a bit with him? And I don't know whether it's in his mind that he doesn't want to get injured. You look at him at the start of the season to now, he's not going into challenges. He's not barging people off the ball. He's not putting his body there anymore like he was at the beginning of the season. And that's when you found he was in good form, and because he was scaring defenders. Now defenders are just standing off him and letting him run into the corners, run into space where they know he's not going to affect the game.
But is that just more lack of confidence? You know, he doesn't feel that.
No, that's what I'm saying. It's a bit of both. You know, it's a bit of both.
But I said, you know, someone said in the comments there that 4-0 Zanzini and Ben Rama. You know, and this is the thing, that they're the ones that have got to get him the ball. You know, he's the focal point of the attack. He's the one that leads the line. Then players around him have got to come and get the ball off of the likes of Rice and Souček and get the ball to him, whether it's as quickly as possible or whether they do something to bring him into the game. You know,
I do feel we dwindle on the ball too long.
Yeah,
that's what I think. We don't get the ball from back to front quick enough at times. Like, you know, it always seems to be laboured from getting it from back to front. You know, especially with the likes of Ben Rama and all that. You know, we was very good at counter attacking even at the beginning of this season, and we've seemed to have lost that little bit of spark. We always seem to be going for the ball to the wing. And sometimes the ball in the centre is the one to play, and you've seen it so many times. So, look, I can't sit here and say I've been studying him or anything like that. You know what I mean? Like, I'd have to look back at the games. But is he making the runs and just not getting the service?
The thing is, someone's just said there that he's got 4 goals in his last 20 games, which, yeah, as a striker, that is pretty poor form. But Antonio is that sort of player that can go and get 8 in 8 in the next 8 games. You know, that's it. He's one of them. As you said, he's not a natural striker, but on his day, I think sometimes, and we've said this before with Antonio, is that sometimes he finds himself drifting out on the wing to create something when he should just be ambitious and greedy and stay in that box, and let the players like Ben Rama, Bowen, Souček, Rice, let them find him. Just stay in the box. He's a big lad, you know. He can be up there with the best centre backs in the Premier League and challenge them.
Yeah, I think what don't help sometimes as well is that the wide players at times don't stay wide enough. You know, with Bowen, you know, Bowen's looking to make the runs. Bowen's runs into the box are a bit like Antonio when he used to play on the wing. You know, he comes inside, he's looking for them to be at the back post. But players like Fornells and Ben Rama, they drift into the middle a bit too much. So that's why I think Antonio pushes wide to give you that other option. Because obviously, you know, Ben Rama, he wants to get into the middle, wants to try and get a shot off. Fornells, you know, he's another one that also tries to come inside. The overlapping on the left-hand side since Creswell's come back from injury has not really been there. You know, there's him getting there, and then when we are putting the ball into the box, it's going back to that situation where we've either got no one who's 6 foot tall or nigh on 6 foot tall in there. You know, we've got all the short 5-footers or, you know, whatever the height of the players like Lanzini.
Whoa. There's nothing wrong with him. Nothing wrong with him.
The players that are not known for their aerial prowess.
Yeah.
No, they're the ones that are in the box. So that ball then can't come into the box the way we want to put it into the box. Or if it does, the 6 foot plus centre halves lap it up all day long. And that's where I think we're looking at where we want Antonio to be in that middle because he's the one you want on the end of these crosses.
I mean, you look at the creative players that we got on the pitch: Ben Rama, Fornells, Lanzini, Bowen. There's enough there to do that job. So the players like Souček, Antonio, Declan Rice to an extent, get in the box. When we've got it out wide, get in the box.
Sometimes I don't think there's in our attack. Sometimes it just doesn't quite click. That's the only thing about us is we don't seem to be able to read each other like other teams read each other. There seems to be sort of I don't know whether it's because of the players. I don't know whether it's because of the what they're working on and all of that. So I don't know what it is. But sometimes I feel like our front four are a little bit disconnected. I think when Lanzini plays, it's a lot more solid, and I think it's a lot more going on because I think he likes to kind of get the ball and then start running at people with it, and I think that helps them out. But I'm not sold on Ben Rama. I know that I'm going to get criticism and that because he can be fantastic on his day, but I don't see his day enough. I think he drifts in and out of games way too much. He doesn't deliver the ball nearly enough. I don't think Cresswell's been delivering the ball nearly enough of late. It's just we're always looking for that wing play, and it worked last season because we had the likes of Souček running in the box, but now he's not running in the box. We're not as much as a threat in the air, and it makes it very predictable for defenders to know who the fuck we're going to aim for, because we're not going to be aiming for Ben Rama if we're swinging it in the box. We're aiming for Antonio. And the likes of Souček needs to get himself in that box a bit more. Now, I know there's going to be arguments between the Moisey, selling Declan to get forward more. But that's what we need to do. I think we need to get back to basics and start swinging that ball in early. We don't get it in early enough. You see that so many times in the Premier League, goals are scored when early crosses coming in before defenders get a chance to set themselves. The thing about us is once the defenders set themselves against us, we're done. We don't, apart from set pieces, open play crosses, we're fucking terrible at them. And you see it last week. We scored. It was a direct over the top ball by Diop. I think it was a brilliant spot. I don't remember another ball being played like that all season through the middle, and you see, I was screaming because I'm at the games most of the time. I see it so many times on the telly the other day. There's a big gap to play the ball into and let someone run onto him, and that is what Antonio is perfect at. If you want him, if he's on the last man and he's running one-on-one with a defender, like chasing the ball, he's big, he's strong. That's where you get the best out of Mikel Antonio. And we just don't do it. We just keep on going side to side, get it to the wing, diva, lose the ball. And last week was a breath of fresh air when we put the ball through the middle. It's the first time I've seen them do it all season. Craig Dawson tries to do it every week, but he just ain't got the ability, to be quite honest with you. But midfield players playing that killer through ball through the middle just doesn't happen enough. We rely way too much on the wings, and we're not dangerous enough.
I think that's more from the midfield. It's more down to the fact that the likes of Rice and Souček, that's not their game. Do you know what I mean? They're not. Rice drives the ball forward. Rice breaks up the play. Rice gives and goes. And this is where we're a bit stuck at the minute, because Souček, I feel that when we're chasing a goal, that is when and you saw this towards the end of the second half when we were chasing that goal. Rice sat back. I know Dawson ended up playing up front, but Rice sat back and just defended that midfield, broke up the play, gave someone else the ball. That is what we need to do. When we're chasing a goal, we need to do that to release Souček in the box and be more direct. But this is the problem where Moyes doesn't use the other centre midfielders that we've got within the squad. You look at the Frederick substitution, Soufal wasn't having the best of his best games. He brings on Frederick because of his pace, trying to deal with Barnes that way. The other substitutions are a lot like for like. And I reiterate again, we're sitting here picking this apart and we're still sitting fifth in the league, possibly, we're still pushing for Champions League. But it's just that for me, we need to tweak the system. You're right in what we're saying, the build-up plays very, side to side. We're not direct enough at times. And I think just changing the system up maybe. Why not try two up front? Why not give Bowen and Antonio a go together.
Up front. We ain't got no strikers. How are we going to get 2 up front?
But Bowen, when Antonio's not playing, Bowen plays that striker role. Why not give him a chance, 2 of them together? You know, just mix it up a bit. That's
the problem with that is that a lot of teams play that same formation, and if you put in 2 up top, you're losing 1 from midfield, and then they're just flooding out the midfield, aren't they? So it's but you can always change formation during the game when you've got the ball. So there are different. Look, I think Bowen, as you said, Bowen's been in a lot of good form recently, which has probably kept us where we are with his goals. But look, we sat here a few months ago, Scott, and you sort of said about Bowen, and then since that moment, he's been in a hot bit of form. I mean, you and Danny Dyer have got a lot to play in for this season, mate. You've got Bowen on fire, but I hopefully from tomorrow, Antonio will find himself a goal and then go on a great run of form, because I do like Antonio. I believe in Antonio, and it's always frustrating for a striker. You ask any striker, we've interviewed a few ex-West Ham players, ex-strikers. You ask them when the worst thing for a striker is not scoring goals, you know, and that's what they're paid to do. So there is a lot of pressure on a goal scorer, and let's hope that he does find that bit of form and helps us, cement that top 6 and hopefully have a good run in Europe and the FA Cup as well.
I mean, the good thing is, we're the 4th highest scoring team in the league at the moment, and I think he's had his dip. If he can find it now, at this point, if he goes out there tomorrow and scores a brace, and he gets a bit of confidence and he starts getting on this run of form, we could be in for a very, very good end of the season.
That's what I'm saying. And the thing is, mate, you'll forget about his 4 in his last 20 if he goes on and scores in like how many league games have got left? 13, something like that. If he gets 8 or 9 in his next 13, that's all people are going to remember.
We know he's got the ability to do that, and look, all players have a barren spell, don't they? You know, they have a spell where things ain't going right, and this is Antonio's. It's just as we've said before, the reason why it's highlighted so much is the lack of competition there for him. The fact that we've not got somebody to take that pressure off. There's other teams have that backup striker, have that second striker who, when things are not going right, they get their opportunity. They may not be as good as the striker who's hit a bad patch of form, but it's just adding to that little bit of pressure, knowing that, all right, well, I've got to pick my game up now. I've got to step in. I've got to start doing this. And, that is a pain that we lack a bit. And, it's unfortunate we didn't address it. But now, we need the players to step up. For me as well, I don't know whether you guys noticed, but these international breaks seem to kill us a little bit. Players hit a bit of form or like Ben Rama. Ben Rama, before he went to the AFCON, just started picking up a bit of form for us. Comes back from the AFCON, doesn't look the same player again.
Thing is, as well, mate, we was all worried about Antonio getting injured. The only thing that's affected him this season is jet lag. Yeah.
But but the other thing I seem to notice as well, we seem to play better when we're playing games closer together.
Yeah.
Every time we seem to have a break between games, we seem to drop off a little. When we've got that intensity where we're playing the 2 games back to back, 2 games really close together, we seem to, our level seems to lift a bit. So, hopefully
I think when you look at our form, I think we're a momentum-based team. I think we need to keep on playing one after the other to get the momentum. I think when we stop, we lose that momentum. But I must admit, I disagree a bit on Ben Rama the other day since he's come back from AFCON, because I thought he was very bright when he came on against Leicester. The point I was making a bit earlier was he doesn't have enough of that. He needs to be more consistent in his form. Vlasic just isn't. He's just not cutting the mustard at the minute, which is a shame, because he's probably got to have a little bit more time to bed himself in. It's tough. He struggled in the Premier League before, but I do believe he's got the ability. I really do believe he's got the ability, but he's going to take a little bit more time. Just like Ben Rama didn't get much time in his first season with us. We just got to be patient with Vlasic. Hopefully he can start coming into a bit of form soon. But we need people challenging. I don't think.
Mate, I remember when we first signed Bowen, and a lot of people said he wouldn't make it in the Premier League. It's about giving these players time and letting them play. I mean, Vlasic hasn't really had a chance, has he? Like, and I'll be honest with you, every time Vlasic has come on, I've been impressed with him. I think there is a decent player in him, but he just needs that run. Maybe dropping, like, I mean, who can you drop really? Is that, I mean, maybe. So you can't really drop Fornells because Fornells hasn't been great the last few games, but he's still a threat. He still makes things happen. I mean, the ball he played for Declan Rice against Kidderminster was a world class ball, whether it's against Kidderminster or whoever. But it's
it's just we've got to try and work it out. Anyway, let's take some comments. The Tower, it says Antonio warned. Lowell, what is Moyes going to do? Stop playing him. He doesn't have the bollocks to fill the youngster in there. We can't lose Bowen on the wing, which is what I was talking about. It's actually criminal that we never got a striker to challenge Antonio since Frankie James. I can't see how there wasn't one striker out there, even on loan, to add to the team to help us push up the league and continue in Europa. B. Rat Pack says, let's face it, West Ham are punching well above their weight based on their previous recent seasons. Last season wasn't too much different to this one. Moisey is too effing stubborn and has no faith on our bench. Look at the people on our bench. I'm not surprised. Gary Pay says, because of COVID, etc., we played too many games with a small squad and now it's catching up with us. Ollie PRJ says, Tony Martinez braced for Porto last night. Yeah, he's one that we let go. Haller has now been linked to sign for Dortmund. I think they're expecting Haaland to leave, so I wouldn't be surprised if that move happened. Too much burden on Antonio, says Anes Ahmed. Steve WHU Bell says, in all honesty, will Moyes drop him? He has been on a lean streak and he hasn't changed it. Cannot see Moyes playing Okaflex. I think that was meant to stay. Scott, can you blame Cressy for the second goal as an attacker running in? Will always out-jump a defender doing a standing jump. Come on, Scott. You played as a fullback. It's impossible for Cressy. Thoughts?
When he's running in, I get that thingy. But there's a lot of times you see goals coming from that situation where he switches off and loses mark. And it's probably, I should take that back a bit. You can't really blame him as much for the second goal, but it happens far too often for Creswell, for my liking. The amount of times he gets out muscled, out jumped, or he just switches off at that back stick. So
I'd stick with him, to be honest. Vlasic, I'm not sold on, and leave Bowen where he is. He looks like isolated, just like Haller. That's a good point, that, because I know Ryan highlighted it this week about Haller's goal scoring record since he's left us. He's scored something like 41 goals in 50 games, 10 in the Champions League, and he was another one who looked like a very isolated figure. Is it the play? Is it the play that's the problem? That's I don't know. Everyone, it seems to be set up for more like the wingers to score than the strikers. That's what I would say. Scott Wilson, we haven't been the same team since Ogbonna got injured. Justin Finch, Cresswell, Souček, Sufelt, and Antonio have really struggled. Looks like the season is going to end as a damp squib. I hope I'm wrong. I wouldn't say that, Justin. We're still up there, mate. Neil from Down Under. Apart from Bowen, we're far too static when going forward. We seem to get a point just outside the box and then pass sideways or back. Adam Robney says, good point, Nicky. We are so predictable, is what I said. We was playing the same way all the time. Our build-up play is way too slow. We need to go back to basics. Antonio sussed. Stand off him. His shitty touch gives people a chance to nick the ball. That's what I said. He's always better. That's why it frustrates me that we don't play it over the top, because he's always good running over the top. Antonio's playing 75% because he knows he's only out. Our only striker with no backup who wants to be fit for Jamaica in a World Cup. They're not getting to the World Cup, mate.
They've got 3 games left. They ain't even going to qualify.
No, they're not getting to the World Cup, pal.
I understand in the next round of qualifiers, they're not picking European-based players, so he won't be good.
They've pretty much given up on their World Cup hopes. He's not confident in his body, says AS. Our through balls are generally terrible. Somebody needs to stop giving Nicky taking all these handsome pills. It's getting out of hand. I don't know what the fuck he's talking about there. Peter Elliott, Cresswell's been very poor. Leeds at home, Man United away. Leicester last week, goals all down to Cresswell's poor defending. At the far post, caught napping. Teams have sussed us out. And target hour. I'm sure he's going to say something else after that. Be good to see you on the Big Six, Nicky. No idea what you're talking about there either. Grant was supposed to be that ball playing midfield, but never gets a game. LT, I think Bowen seems pretty loyal, but I suppose money talks. But I think I could manage on his wages rather than sit on someone's bench most of the time. I'll swap my day out for yours. Matt P. Slates off roof, straight through back window of my sports hard top convertible, dented back wing. Oof. Let us know how you're getting on with the win today, ladies and gents. I think Nicky said that Antonio should not be in a team chasing Champions League. Now, really, I didn't say that. I wouldn't say he can't be in a team chasing the Champions League. What I probably said is that he shouldn't be our only option for a team chasing the Champions League. So yeah, that's it. All of them.
That is the thing, isn't it? That's the problem. Is the fact that we are chasing Champions League. You know, I saw the other comment, saw a comment pop up about other teams in the top 4 or top 5, whatever it is. You know, don't play recognised strikers. But the problem is they've got a lot more talented players in other positions than, unfortunately, what we have. You know, we've got good players and a world-class player. Other teams have got world-class players and good players. I think that's the difference between us and the bigger sides that are chasing that top 4.
Yeah, as you said, mate, like you look at the likes of City, Chelsea, Liverpool, they've got players that when their strikers are not on form, they've got players all around the pitch that can change a game. So a lot of people saying that, I'm looking fuming and tired and not smart. I was reading the comments like, I'm happy. Like Nicky's reading the comments. What am I supposed to do? Next time Nicky reads all the comments, I'll do a dance while he does it. I'm happy. I'm all right. I'm thinking about defence.
Not juggling. Just do a juggle or something.
No, next time I'll like. But yeah, no, it's yeah.
Listen, I said it so many times, mate. I'm not, you know, it's going to piss me off if we miss out on it by a point or two and all of that sort of thing. I'm not expecting us to get into the top 4 this year, although other teams around us are starting to crumble a little bit. You know what I mean? So the reason
we had all the talk the other week, didn't we, about Spurs have got games in hand and all that, and they must have been rubbing their hands together, thinking we've got Southampton and Wolves at home, and they've lost both. So, you know, it's not going well, and we're still up there. As Scott said, we're still 5th. You know, we go on a good run now. We can look, if we don't get top 4, no one expected us to get top 4 this season. So if we get top 4, it's a huge bonus. But I'm more worried about getting a good run in Europe, still keeping in the top 6 in the league, and hopefully have a good run in the FA Cup. I'm greedy. I'm just greedy now.
But that's it, isn't it? It's just, you know, it's just frustrating. I think it's frustration on the performances that we've seen of late. Knowing that, you know, we held on to that lead against Leicester. We win that game, we're still 4th. You know, it's just a frustration in stuff that's going to keep us out of that top 4.
Scott, the thing is, mate, we're coming up to near the end of February, and we're still talking about chasing that top 4. And and listen. We don't care about European football in February because only the big teams play in March. We ain't worried about European football in February. I mean, we'll talk about the Europa League later. I mean, the results, everyone's talking about, Dortmund and Barca. They might not even be in the next round. You know, we've got our feet up, like smoking a cigar in the last 16, like that.
Well, them two were the two favourites. Barca.
I mean, look, that second goal for Dortmund could prove crucial going into the next leg next week, because if they get an early goal at Ibrox, it's game on. But I know the away goals don't count in the Champions League. Do they not count in the Europa League as well?
I'm not sure how that works, to be fair.
I'm not sure either. But look, listen, I see a lot of Dortmund accounts tweeting that this would be the easiest game they've ever played in Europe, and they lost 4-2 at home to Rangers. So it just proves it. And as I said, we're sitting back and we're watching this all unfold. You know, we could lose 2 of the giants, Barcelona and Dortmund, and before we even have to play. So long may it continue.
That's the good thing about this. You know, if you're people saying that them 2 are the favourites, you know, I think the Europa League's an odd one to call. There's so many good sides in it, and sides that places that where you go to their own grounds, they're not places you want to go to. You know, where the atmosphere's, you know, a bit. The fans make that atmosphere daunting for other sides. And like I said, I don't think anyone saw that result coming. And you know, Rangers putting 4 past them at their own place. You can see Rangers scoring possibly 1 or 2 at Ibrox as well.
I think Andy Kerr and Paul Anderson have just confirmed it there that there's no away goal rule, which is brilliant because it is a stupid. I've always thought that's a stupid rule anyway.
I don't know. I sort of agree with the away goal rule. You go away to Dortmund and score 4. I think you're entitled to you know, count them as bigger goals. And if someone comes and scores 1, I've always been quite supportive of the away goal rule. A lot of people don't like it. But,
well, until you're on the end of it, then
yeah, I guess, yeah.
You know what I mean? It's one of them ones.
Yeah, I think with the away goal rule, it's a bit silly when it comes to, you know, you on aggregate, you've kept, you know, you could win away from home like 4-2 or whatever it is, and then you lose at home 2-0. It's 4-4 when you've gone through on away goals. You know, it's draws a draw. You could draw 2 all away and then draw 1 all at home, and you go through on away goals. It's, you know, it's not right, is it? When you look at it,
there's a lot of people in favour of, and I said this. I think I said it on the podcast as well. It was Friday Night Pint last week. Rangers for me would be a dream tie. Now, I'll be honest, I didn't give Rangers any hope against Dortmund, but when I see them goals flying in last night, I was dreaming of thinking, oh, West Ham going to Ibrox and Rangers coming down to the London Stadium. I mean, that would be, that'd be mental. That's what we want. We want these big European ties. And I know Scottish football's not the best league in the world, but Rangers are a massive, massive football club, just like Celtic are. And I'd love to see that. I'd love it.
Rangers are a bloody good side as well.
Yeah, they've got some really good players, and they've got a good manager as well. He's gone in and he's done really well, and they're fighting it out with Celtic at the top of the league. You know, when Gerrard left them, it was a massive loss for them, but they've picked up, they've carried on, they're doing well, and I think it'll be a great tie. But it'll be interesting next week because obviously the ties, the draws on next Friday, the 25th. So it'll be interesting.
Yeah, I think we're gonna be live for the draw. Obviously, we want to know we're playing. There are still some big sides in it. You know, as I say, Barca could still go through, Dortmund could still go through, but then Rangers and Napoli are also big sides. I think you got Lazio still in it, if I'm not wrong. You know, that's
Seville,
yeah,
the kings of it.
Yeah,
you've got the Galatasaray still in it as well. You know, they're not. You know, honestly, if you look at that competition, the teams that are still in that draw, you can't pick a winner out of all them. You cannot pick a winner because there's so many decent sides. You know, you said with Seville, how many times Seville won it now? You know, someone else said there, Leon's another really good side. You can't pick a winner. The only thing that I feel bodes well for us is we've shown this season, and probably last season as well, that we can mix it with the best sides.
You got that team Sheriff as well.
Yeah.
Zenit St. Petersburg are still in it.
That's one we don't want in the next round.
Look, I think, as you said, mate, over 2 legs, I fancy us against anyone. Bring it on. Yeah. Bring it on. Stand your ground.
Marseille's not in it. They dropped down to the Europa League, the Europa Conference League. They got knocked out in the last round. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the Europa League. It seems like a tourney now. It seems like a different competition. To be honest,
because we ain't. But when was the last time we played? Was it early December? Was the last?
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah.
I think it was early November, wasn't it, when we lost at home to Zagreb, which was a dead rubber game. Nothing. It was a run out for the kids, wasn't it? So, we've had a great rest, and I'm looking forward to it. Whoever we get, that London Stadium on that night is going to be, especially like if we get a good result in the first leg away from home, and then you bring on the the quarterfinals after that.
It is, yeah. But let's get through this one first. Let's see who we got. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm sure everyone is looking forward to it. Marseille would be my favourite, but as I said, they're not in it. They've gone down to the Conference League, I'm sure. Yarmo would be up for a match against Zenit St. Petersburg. I'm sure he would. We raise our game for big teams, underestimate weaker teams. That's the West Ham way. West Ham get top 4, no problems. I don't know about that, Debbie. Who the fuck's Debbie?
They ain't in it, by the way.
No. They got knocked out. They didn't finish high enough in their group. Most open tournament in a long, long time.
Are you reading the comments?
Yeah. That Sheriff, they scare it, beat some good sides this season. Yeah, I'll tell you. That PSG game was a good game the other day, talking about that. Scott's audio is really low. Turn your audio up a bit, Scott.
How do I do that?
Come on, Scott.
What are you using?
Yeti.
Who?
Yeah, so pull it closer to you. Pull it closer to you.
Yeah.
Closer. Don't be scared to show it, mate.
Oh.
I'm just making sure the audio is coming through there now. Hold on.
Too close.
Tap it.
No, it's not. That better?
Yes, a lot better.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's all right. For some reason, it weren't picking up. It switched back to the audio from the Mac.
It's done it again.
Hold on.
Can't sort this out.
I'm on it. No, it's okay. Look. Hello.
Yeah, but just bring it a little bit closer. That's it.
Hold me close, don't let me go.
Get a Tassa right now. That would be a trip. Now that's one I don't want to do. I really wouldn't want to do that. I wouldn't want. That'd fucking scare the life out of me, to be quite honest with you. There's. What's that?
I could do with a bit of sun, to be fair.
Yeah, the sun would be nice, mate. But I'd be so worried for everyone that went over there. It'd be a joke. I'd be worried sick. They're fucking nutcases, them people. Just off the phone to a Rangers friend. They want us in the draw big time. Yeah, it'd be a good game, that one. Everyone in the big teams, give me the easier team all the way to the final. Come on, you Irons. Yeah, absolutely. West Ham to win it and get in the Champions League. Says so creative. Mike says we can go far in Europe. Surely got the best midfield and wingers in the competition. I don't know. There's still some good players in it. Yarmo will probably score a hat-trick against Barca just to feed him. Oh, fucking hell, leave it out.
No. What did I say last week?
Yeah,
Yarmolenko has been so poor this season. He's going to pop up with an important goal for us this season, and it's going to come in Europe. I'm telling you. Watch this space.
Ben Rama was spotted in West Ham's training video. I wonder if one of unknown West Ham players in Moyes' press conference had picked up an injury and a knock. I've heard a lot of people saying this today. He's rumoured to be injured. I haven't heard anything. I don't know if you've heard anything, right?
No, I haven't. I see the video as well. It was like I was more laughing at the way they was all trying to the wind not to blow him away. I mean, Souček was smiling like I've never seen him smile before. Lucky Mark Noble had that on because he ain't got much hair left, and that wind could have given a little bit of hair left. So, but I mean, I know Moisey said that there's a couple of players rumoured to be injured, but yeah, it'd be devastating if it is Ben Rama. But if it is, let's hope that it's not a long-term injury and it is only a knock or something.
I think I asked this earlier, but I don't think anyone answered me. Does anyone know what the wind is meant to be like tomorrow?
It's meant to
I think it's meant to die down about 9-10 o'clock tonight. I think it's normal tomorrow. It's meant to be raining though all day.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, exactly.
But if you're a Newcastle fan watching this stream for whatever reason, stay safe. I don't know what the winds are like up there, so be safe travelling down. Just keep yourself safe. And anyone that's coming from up north from West Ham side, please keep yourself safe and just be careful. Just take it easy. I know it's an early kickoff, but it's not worth it. It's not worth your life because these winds are dangerous. So keep yourself nice and safe indoors. Right, the last one I've got on my list today is it looks like, and Ryan, I think you've been calling this for a while. It looks like Declan Rice may have no suitors in the summer. Have you heard this?
No what?
No suitors. So no one's going to be coming in for Declan Rice because they're chasing other targets.
Well, yeah, no, I haven't heard that, but I'll be very surprised if he hasn't got anyone that wants him.
Well, it's not that I don't think they want him. I think that the teams that are rumoured to be interested are, pursuing other targets, and because of FFP and all that sort of thing, it may not be possible for them to go for Declan in the summer. Like the likes of City, I think they're after Haaland, and Chelsea are after another striker. I think they might be after Haaland and someone else. And it's rumoured that these teams just can't fit Declan into their plans this summer. The only ones that would be interested in him is Man United, and he's rumoured not to want to go to Man United. So yeah.
Well, I don't blame him for not wanting to go to Man United. I mean, I see the other day that Real Madrid were in for him, and look, you can never stop a player if he was linked with Real Madrid, you'd never stop a player going to play him for Madrid. But I'd rather see Declan. If Declan left the club, I'd rather him go to Spain than play in the Premier League against us. But look, if these teams are not going to bid for him, then I'm glad. I mean, Declan Rice is happy at West Ham. I really can't see him leaving in the summer unless a ridiculous bid comes in. I really can't see him leaving, and I think that Declan Rice might surprise a few people. I know there's a lot of rumours coming out that over the next 2 weeks there's going to be 2 or 3 players that have agreed new contracts. And look, if one of them is Declan Rice, imagine what a massive statement that would be by the football club. Because I know we didn't sign anyone in January, but if we I know, look, contracts don't mean nothing these days. But if Declan signed a new contract and says, "Look, I'm here to stay," I know in his interview he said he wants to go on and win things. But look, every football player wants to win things in their career. Of course they do. What's the point of playing football? You don't just play because I think, I want to play 100 games and not achieve nothing. You want to win trophies. I'm glad Declan Rice has said that, and let's hope that he can win trophies with us.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? It's said if the club can match the ambition that the player desires to be competing for trophies, to be there and thereabouts to win trophies, then there's no reason for him to go anywhere. If you look at where we're driving towards, like we said, we got to the last, we got to the quarters of the League Cup, and unfortunately didn't win that one. We're progressing okay in the FA Cup. We're in the last 16 of the Europa League, and we're challenging for Champions League. So we're not doing much more different than what Man United are doing at the minute. So there's no reason for him to leave us to go and play for a club like that. Like you said, if the likes of Madrid come knocking, it's hard to turn down. I'm with you. I'd rather see him go abroad than have to sit there and watch him play against us in the Premier League side. But look, we're moving in the right direction. This summer, if he does sign a new deal and he's going to stay put for this season, this summer is the biggest summer transfer window-wise in this club's history.
Yeah, I agree, mate.
We need to make sure we bring in players that are going to push the club up even more than what we are now.
And I agree. If the board and Kretinsky and Moyes and they go out in the summer and they bring 5, 6, 7 new players into the football club, and Declan Rice signs a new deal, as much as we've been frustrated with this season not getting anyone in January, we'd all sort of forget about that and worry about the now in the summer. Yeah. And if we're bringing in these players, but listen, us saying it and them doing it is 2 different things.
Yeah, I just think it's a little bit deja vu from last year. Same thing last year.
But this is it. But I think as much as last year was a bit of a shock to everybody with where we finished and where we're doing, I think this season's also a little bit of a shock to be still competing on the level that we're competing at. And I think if we can still be up there and thereabouts in Champions League places, push on to, whether we get to the FA Cup final or not, but be pushing to the semi-finals and again pushing further on in Europa League, which, as we said, it's an open, very, very open competition, that Europa League. So, pushing on now, the expectations of the club grow because you've had 2 good seasons where you're pushing for Champions League football. We know that the 2 guys sitting there running the club without the new guy that come in, we know their ambition is to sell the club and earn as much money as possible. But when you're there or thereabouts for 2 seasons on the spin, you've got to progress. You've got to push forward. And if they don't, they're crazy. Especially if we keep Rice. Rice. There's no reason for Rice to leave the club. You can be a big, massive player at a club like West Ham, and you can drive West Ham with your own ambition to match your ambition and to go on to win trophies.
The thing is, as well, with that, Scott, is we have to match Declan Rice's ambition and get the players in.
Yeah.
So, as I said, I don't think Declan Rice will leave this summer. I think we'll get at least another year out of him, maybe 2, a bit of a stretch. As long as we're going in the right direction, as you said, fighting at the right end of the table. I mean, look, if we won the Europa League this season or the FA Cup, whatever Declan Rice goes on to do in his career, that FA Cup or Europa League will mean more to him than any of them trophies. For one, is his first, and for 2, he done it with a club like West Ham.
Yeah, a club on a thin squad, on a thin budget that nobody expected to be where they are now.
We just got an habit of not progressing. Chris Mills, maybe the truth in the Chelsea £30 million plus 2 players could do about 8 of their players personally keep Rice at all costs. Chris, that is something that we discussed on the podcast the other day. I know a couple of channels have picked this up, but I think it's not a rumour. We made that up. Like, we put that sort of hypothetical question to each other on the podcast the other day and said, like, would you take that? And I think people have picked it up and think it's gospel truth. I don't think there's any rumour of Conor Gallagher and Brozier coming to us for Rice and that. We made that up. It was a hypothetical question sort of thing.
To be fair though, I think that, like you said, teams are chasing other targets. I think the only way a side like Chelsea would be able to sign Rice with the other targets that they're chasing would be a players plus cash deal.
The thing is with sort of like, you mentioned 2 players there, Gallagher and Brozier, and they're 2 really good players. If you got them 2 in with 30 million, I think there would be a lot of West Ham fans out there that would be frustrated losing Declan Rice. But if them 2 players hit the ground running and we're doing well, you'll forget about Declan Rice because players come and go. Players leave the club. We've loved Arnautovic. He left the club. Payet, he left the club. All down the years, there's always players that you love that end up leaving the club. And then new players come in and you get new heroes. And look, I love Declan Rice. I want Declan Rice to stay at the football club as long as what Noble has. I'd love to see him finish his career at West Ham. It's not going to happen because he's that good. But, as I was saying, new players will come in and you'll forget about the Declan Rices and you'll just support the players that are there.
Yeah, and you are right, mate. You are right, and that's what it is. It's then someone else's time to shine. Rice's time to shine at the club is now. If he does leave in the summer and someone comes in, the first season you're going to be getting people going, oh well, he's no replacement for Rice. You've got to replace Rice and this type of thing. That's the thing. It's whoever comes in is going to be stuck with that mental of being, oh, he's Rice's replacement. It was like when Payet left, it was, oh, well, whoever it was is Payet's replacement. He ain't no Payet. The new player comes in, he's going to bring his own game, his own thing to the game. His own style of play, his own system. But let's worry about Rice leaving the club in the summer. At the moment, he's here. He ain't going nowhere. So let's just make sure we push on and do something why he's still here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the only thing is that if a club like Chelsea came in, I don't believe Declan would go to Chelsea. I really don't. I don't think. But I would take Gallagher, Brozier, plus money or Kante, if we could convince him to come here. I don't think we would be able to, but I would give Declan away for Brozier, Gallagher and Kante because it fills so many positions that we,
Wouldn't fancy Billy Gilmore then?
I don't know enough about Billy Gilmore.
Holding midfielder, great at breaking up the play, can pick a pass. You're losing one of the best defensive midfielders in the world. You want a defensive midfielder to take up his place.
I'm going to go and get myself another Jack Daniels. Chin chin.
Sorry, Nick.
That's why I said Kante.
Yeah, but then you're getting a Kante that's coming towards the end of his career. Look, Kante's
but just for to fill in, he's still a top class player.
Oh yeah.
Just to take that Rice mantle, that workhorse. I don't think he's as good as Rice, and people are gonna people spit feathers when people say that. But Rice is irreplaceable. I think someone at our level, I think Kante.
No, I said definitely Rice is irreplaceable. You can't.
Yeah, he's irreplaceable. There's no one that can replace Rice. So I would take Kante, Gallagher for the future, and to come in and for longevity, and Brozier to be our centre forward. I think that would be a good deal. But it depends on the ambition. If we can go and get them anyway, brilliant. I doubt we could. We'll probably have to use Rice as that sort of bargaining chip. But yeah.
I think the problem with players, with Kante as well, I don't see Chelsea getting rid of him. He's a key part to the way they play now. And if they were to sign someone like Rice, I think he'd play well alongside the likes of Rice. But no, I get your opinion on that. I just feel with Gilmour, he's a bit younger, and you've got a lot more about him. He didn't start brilliantly.
But Kante is proven.
Oh yeah. No, massive he is. But yeah, I just think you just got to replace Rice with someone who's coming towards the end of his career. Look, I ain't saying he's old, but he's in his.
He's getting there.
Yeah,
he's getting there.
I think that then screams West Ham of old, replacing a young, talented player with an older, experienced player who's.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that you're bringing in that older, experienced player to fill the position that you're losing with a quality player, but then gaining two quality players that could be, quality. I don't know. That's something that it's all hypothetical, as I say. B-Rat Pack says, can you guys do it live and say why Rice isn't overrated? I want to be able to win this argument. Go and watch him play games. You don't need us to tell you why. If you watch the games, he's head and shoulders above everyone on the pitch most weeks.
I think when you watch Declan Rice week in, week out, like we do, home and away, you see how he's developed his game, especially over the last 2 years. As a rival fan that doesn't, there are probably some people that can say, "Oh yeah, he's overrated," because they don't watch him week in, week out. Like sometimes there might be other players at other clubs that their fans bang on about him, and we might think, he's a bit overrated, but we don't watch him week in, week out. Declan Rice, I mean, the way his game's improved over the last 2 years is unbelievable. I've never seen someone develop like the way he has, and he's just getting better and better and better. Even on an off game, he's still an 8 out of 10. And that's what offers you. And I think if Declan Rice does eventually take that step up, and I don't want to disrespect West Ham, but if he takes that step up to a bigger club, you'll see a much better Declan Rice. Because when you play with players around you that are better, they make you improve your game. You look when Frank Lampard went to Chelsea. He was good at West Ham. He went to Chelsea. When he got around better players, he went up another level. And I've seen loads of players do that down the years.
Same as Ferdinand, same as Carrick. I wouldn't say Defoe. I think Defoe was pretty much consistent throughout his career wherever he went. But, them players, they did get better when they went on. And he will get better. But
I think the thing is, when you're looking at Rice and the comparisons of other teams in and around the position we were in a couple of years ago, that they were saying their players are better. You got Longstaff who played for Newcastle. He ain't good enough to lace Rice's boots. Kelvin Phillips from Leeds. Rice makes him look good when he plays for England. There's no two ways about that. And this is the thing, Rice. There isn't a player in this country of Rice's age and Rice's ability who plays the game Rice does and stands out week in, week out the way Rice does.
This is the world. This is the social media world I don't like living in, because people say Longstaff, Phillips, Rice, all these. Enjoy having these sort of players. Don't keep comparing them, saying, "Oh, he's better than him" and all that. Just enjoy these sort of players. Like if you would have said 2 years ago, in the 2018 World Cup, that in the next tournament, England's centre midfield would be a West Ham midfielder and a Leeds midfielder, no one would have believed you. But they were the two best players in that tournament, Rice and Phillips.
Yeah, listen, I like Rice and Phillips playing together. You know, the way they play for England. But when you're comparing the two players, Rice is far better. But when they play together, the way they play together for England, if we could get Phillips with Rice, it'd work.
The thing is, Leeds fans will tell you that Phillips is better than Rice. That's just because we're supporting our own team, but our own player. Sorry, but look,
I'm not as much as it's. Yeah, I'm a West Ham fan. I'm gonna be more biased towards a West Ham player. I've watched Phillips. I've watched Rice. Rice is 10 times better. You know, and I've had this conversation with a Leeds fan before. So Rice is the better player, but the two players complement each other massively, and that works.
I just live in that era that I'm a proud England fan, and I'm glad we've got what we've got coming through at the moment. And I think that we've got some talented football players coming through, and people always seem to compare players all the time. Just enjoy having them. Longstaff is a good player. He's just, unfortunately, he's playing for a shit team. You know, a team that are fighting relegation. If you put Longstaff in another team, it'll stand out. None of them are as good as Declan Rice.
No, the reason he's so good is, and you wouldn't see this unless you watched him week in, week out. I've never seen him make the same mistake twice.
Mm-hmm.
Never. He makes a mistake, you never see him doing it again.
I think what makes them a player as well, mate, is their attitude. And Declan Rice got one of the best attitudes I've seen from a football player, especially with someone so young. I mean, he's only, what is he, 23? He's just turned 23 in January.
Yeah.
You know, he looks like the way he talks, he looks like he's coming to the end of his career, that he's had a 15, 20-year career. You know, he just speaks so well. And I think that's because he's been brought up with players like Mark Noble, you know, and now Kevin Nolan's in there. You know, I think they keep him grounded. You know, he's a very, how can I say this, family sort of person. You know, he's one of them sort of players. He doesn't let things go to his head.
No, always,
The other thing for me is when you look at it, is look at Rice's performances for England as well. Yeah, we think he's good when he plays for us. Look at the way he plays for England. Look at the way he adapts his game to suit the England style of play compared to what he's allowed to do.
That goes back to my previous comment where I said better players around him.
Yeah. You know, when he plays for us, there he's got that free rein to drive forward, and he's you know, like you said, no, he's nothing less than a 7. But he always puts 8s and 9s out of 10s. For England, he ain't allowed to do that, and he adapts his game to suit the players around him that he's playing. And he's playing with some top talented players, some players who have got heftier price tags than what he has on hanging over their heads. You know, who have won, you know, FA Cups, League, Premier Leagues, you know, things like that. And when I watch him play for England, he shines more than some of them players.
Well, you only have to go back to Euro 2020 or 2021, whatever it was, and in the final, taking Rice off, I think, cost us. He was the best player on the pitch for England, at that time. And you know, he had one bad game in that tournament, and I think it was the same game that most of the England players had a bad game, and that was against Scotland when we drew 0-0, and Scotland won the tournament that night. Look, Declan Rice will get better and better, and I love talking about Declan Rice because I love players like that. Honestly, I do, especially when they've come from. All right, we all know we got him from Chelsea as a 16-year-old, but he's come for our academy. He's come for our under-21s. He won the league with the under-21s. Me and Nicky was there on his debut against Burnley away when Bilic gave him that game, and since then he's just been a regular in the first team, and it's been great. And I think every West Ham fan, if he does leave the club, they'll still keep an eye on his career, unless he goes to Tottenham.
Black Country Hammer says Rice statement he wants to stay in London. No way to Spurs, no way to Gooner. Says it's got to be Chelsea. I haven't seen him ever say he wants to stay in London. And if he's got,
he said he
could be
Fulham. Wants or won't.
He wants to.
Oh, okay.
No, he said he wants to stay in London. No way, Spurs, no way Chelsea. So it's got to be Chelsea. I've never seen him say that. I might be missing something, but I've never seen him say he wants to stay in London. And unfortunately, if he wants to win as much as he wants to win, he ain't going to do that in London, in my opinion. So he'll have to go up north.
Chelsea have won the lot.
They have won a lot, but he would win more at Man City, in my opinion. I think they'll win the Champions League this year.
Yeah, but they said that last year and Chelsea won it.
No, that's fair. That's a fair point, but
I think for me, if Declan Rice does leave the club, I think all roads lead to Chelsea in my eyes. Everything's there for him, and they've got the money as well. We know they have.
I think I'm with you, right? I think if he stays in this country, it's Chelsea.
I don't think so. I think he'll go to Liverpool or City, and if he don't go to them too,
he won't go to Liverpool.
He'll go to Madrid. I'd love to see him play for Real Madrid if he's not playing for us. I would love to see him play there. I think he'd shine. I think he'd be brilliant there. They haven't had a good old midfielder since fucking Makaleli left.
He could be their new Jonathan Woodgate, get sent off on his debut and get a standing ovation. I'll never forget that.
Yeah. But yeah, man. Anything else before we go? Ask us anything. Take some more comments. I've got some more comments.
There's a super chat there, Nick. I don't know whether you saw it.
Take some comments and then you've got a video to play, haven't you?
Yeah, we'll play the video. Stevie WHU Bell says Declan is a different class, improving with every game, irreplaceable. Rice statement, he wants to stay in London. I've read that one already. If we're going to seriously progress as a club, we need to invest and build the team around Rice. Kante is 30, not for me. How many places lower down do you think we'd finish without Rice this year? I reckon it'd be about 10th. Gilmore isn't the answer to replace Rice, says Daubster. Too technical, not robust type. 75 mil plus Brozier, Gallagher and Gilmore. That's asking something, mate, I tell you. Nicky, do you realise nobody else values Rice at that price? Let the contract run down. I don't know why he's put them little emergency lights on there, but
emergency.
Would Kante come to us? I highly doubt it. I don't know.
You know,
I think Eli's just made a good point there. We haven't spoke about Newcastle as well. They've got the money.
We spoke. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Oh, well, I thought we mean tomorrow.
No, that's what I say. We forgot about Newcastle having the one.
Yeah. I mean, they could become the new City and start just buying up all the talent and really going for it in the summer. They showed a bit what they've got in January. So yeah, like, and I think that was the problem with January. I think we was in a more prime position to compete with Newcastle than we will be in the summer, because I think if they stay up in the summer, they're going to be a force. Like anyone that's available of any quality, they'll be.
If they stay in the Premier League, they'll be smashing. You know, the City go for a player, they'll be offering another 10 million on top what City offering. Yeah, I mean, if they stay in the league, mate, they'll be a massive force next season.
What do you think about Souček and Rice? If we had more defensive midfielder, Souček becoming more of a threat again? I think we touched on that earlier. So Creative says Loftus cheap plus 20 million.
He's being cheeky with that statement.
He is being cheeky. Listen, I don't know whether you know, but we've started the West Ham Fan TV podcast. We've just finished episode 3. The full podcasts are available on the Patreon, so you can sign up for the Patreon and get access to all the podcasts in the link in the description down below. There also is a free version. If you don't want to become a patron, there's a free sort of shorter version that comes up on YouTube. That'll be up later on tonight or tomorrow morning before the Newcastle game. So keep your eye out for that. But let's play a little clip to show you what we're achieving over there, and show you what sort of work we're putting in. So this is a small clip about Graham. Enjoy this.
Talking of Graham, I've heard a couple of stories about this away day about Graham. What is up with Graham?
Oh, Johnny Walker. He just walked off, didn't he? Did you find him?
Well, Andy told me when he came out of the house, he done a little skip and a jump.
Yeah, he done like an op, skip and jump, like he was
take the penalty,
like
Jorginho.
London 2012. Yeah, like, and then, well, We tried to get his postcode, didn't we? He weren't answering his phone, so I had to sort of try to remember where his mum and dad lived. And I was close, wasn't I? I was only like literally a street away. Then I'm ringing him, he ain't answering. So I thought, I don't want to knock on the door because last time I got chucked down a bunker.
Is that true?
Yeah.
He always tells me this story, but I don't believe
right.
it.
So I thought, right, I'm going to knock on the door and I'm just going to run. Like, you know, in Only Fools and Horses at the Villa Bella. So I knocked on the door and then Graham comes out and he does this hop, skip and jump. So I let him sit in the front with Andy. And then, after the game, he walked off, didn't he? Like, we all walked that way and Graham just walked that way and carried on walking until he got to, like, Birmingham.
I am not convinced that Graham even knows that we put these videos out. I think he thinks we're doing Zoom calls between each other. I'm not convinced that he knows we've been on YouTube for the last 6 years. I really don't. He's in a world of his own.
Do you know what though? I love him. When people say to me about Graham, I honestly love him to bits. I could if he had his own reality TV show,
so
I would watch it for 24 hours a day. Even if it was just him sitting in a room on his own, I'd watch him. Because I always think, what's going on in his head?
The life of Graham.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was weird though, because when I done my interview, obviously I had to cut it short because I see someone new, so I wanted to go and say hello. I was chatting to this geezer. You'd all gone. You just disappeared. Like,
well, we got told to move on. So
a puff of smoke.
I said like that. I said,
you're here.
You can fucking talk. Here we go again.
And so there you go. There's a clip from the podcast. If you're interested in seeing that, go and check that out on the Patreon. The full audio is available the day after we do it. We do it on a Tuesday, and as I said, a bit later on in the week, the videos are available, and then we have a highlights package on YouTube. So yeah, you can catch.
I was sitting there watching that, and I was looking at that fruit machine, thinking, I won the £100 jackpot, but I wasn't allowed to take it.
He did win the £100 jackpot, but yeah.
I know on the dartboard, Scott. I hit 2 60s and a 18. I was shaking. I felt like fucking Eric Bristow in his fucking heyday, mate.
If you haven't seen the podcast is a little bit different to everything else we do. We tell a lot of stories on there. We just have a laugh and a joke. We talk a little bit about the football and we talk a little bit about everything, but it's really good. I'm really proud of what's coming out.
If you sign up and listen to it, you can find out what tattoo Dom's got on his arse this week.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
No, it was good. I finally got to make my debut after 2 weeks of failing the fitness test. I got to make my debut this week, and I enjoyed it. It was good.
Yeah. Let's go ask us anything then, and we're going to start. We talk about Newcastle.
We had a super chat just come up as you played that link, so I'll start it so we knew who it was. Fusion Freak says Rice supported Chelsea as a kid. His whole family support Chelsea. His best mate's there, so if he goes anywhere, it's going to be there.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'll just leave it at that.
Can we remember though, after Ask Us Anything, can we sort of do a little preview of the Newcastle game? Because we always miss that.
We would do a small preview of the Newcastle game. But if you want to get some great information, go and check Scotty's preview out. But we will do a little chat.
Yeah. I mean, look, we can't compete with Scott's previews, mate. He and you know he's going to predict us to win. He always does.
Or did I?
Ooh.
A lot of people telling about the Patreon. I sign up to Patreon if Nicky spills the whole beans about the Poland trip. I will. 1 week I will tell the whole story. I'll have to. What I'm going to have to do, right? Because it was a while ago now.
I think you should make a feature-length film.
Well, yeah, that'd be a good idea, wouldn't it?
A mini documentary.
What I'm going to do, and we're going out with one of them tomorrow. I'm going to see my pal tomorrow. I'll have to speak to the people that were there, because if you speak to the people that were there and you start remembering the stuff, a lot of it sort of comes back, doesn't it? And you start to. But yeah, it was a good trip, man. It was a good trip to be.
I'll get this one out of the way because I know this was going to come up a lot tonight. So I'll get this one out because I know you two probably don't care about it. But Ryan Lewis winning the fight tomorrow. Well, Scott might care about it.
Yeah, I'm watching it tomorrow, mate.
Obviously, Amir Khan versus Kell Brook tomorrow. The grudge fight, it's about 8 years too late. We know that. But as a British, you love a British rivalry. You love a rivalry in boxing, and I think it's going to be a decent fight. I think if it goes over 7 rounds, I think Amir Khan will just nick it. But I don't know, you know. I can see Kell Brook. I don't know. It's one of these fights. It's probably the first fight in a long time that it's hard to call because they're both in good shape. You know, Kell Brook. I love all the banter that's going back to between the two, but there's a lot of people saying Kell Brook. There's a lot of people saying Khan. I'm not the massive Amir Khan fan. I've never really liked him, so I'm going to back Kell Brook in this one. But I'm just hoping for a good fight that goes the distance. I'd love to see it go the distance, but yeah, no, it's good. It's good. It's what we love it. We love a rivalry. You got Tyson Fury versus Dylan White coming up as well, and the WBC have made a special belt for that fight as well, and it's one of the best looking belts I've ever seen. Honestly, it's like it's a great belt, but no, it's good. You know, this is what we need. We need a little bit of rivalry in boxing. As I said, it's probably 6-7 years too late. Should have been done a long time ago, but we love a grudge match. But I'm gonna sway towards more Kell Brook tomorrow. You know, I can knock him out in the first round, innit?
How old's Amir Khan? He seems to have been around for like 20 years.
Yeah, Amir Khan. Look, there's no denying what he's done. He's made a good career. He was on I'm a Celebrity as well, so you sort of know people say you've made it or your career's going downhill when you go on that show. But look, for me, Kell Brook, I think he wants it more. I think the hatred's there more for him. So it's gonna be a good fight. It's gonna be interesting, but I just hope that it goes the distance. I hope it's one of these ones that ain't over in the first couple of rounds because the build-up's been brilliant.
All right.
I don't know.
Christian for it. I'm looking forward to the fight. I think it'll be a really good one. Yeah. Kaz Simpson, favourite Fairground ride? Something a bit different. We haven't had something like that for
I'll tell you what. I went over to. Have you been to the? They didn't do it this year, obviously, because of COVID. But have you ever been to the Steam Fair at Malden?
I've seen it. I've never been to it. I've seen it advertised.
Like the old-fashioned rides, right?
Yeah.
And we went on a ghost train. So there's me, my missus, my daughter. They sat in the front car. I sat in the back, right? I didn't realise that the carts were separate and you go around on your own. So literally, they went off and I'm still sitting there. And I had to go around this ghost train on my own. And I thought to myself, oh, this is going to be shit. Mate, I had my eyes shut all the way through. You know, like when they like you go through the cobwebs and you're all like that. But favourite Fairground ride? I love what's it called? The one where they spin it really fast. Is it the
Ace of Spades? It was called
the Ace of Spades in that. Yeah, I love all that.
The Ace of Spades.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where you used to stand at the side and it just used to spin and you just
like a big circle.
You know that one you know the one when you're in the car and it spins really fast and the geezer spins it and like you try not to throw up and the geezer's going, scream if you want to go faster and all that.
I see you what, right? Funny enough, I see some mad like clip of that of the people on the walks, man. They are odd people. They think they're like pussy magnets. Yeah,
this geezer like had no teeth.
Yeah.
Like, and he's like, like trying to chat up like 10-year-olds, and I'm like, mate, come on, on the ride. I don't want to like get a lawsuit against you, yeah.
Yeah, they're an odd bunch, mate. Them people, man, they're an odd bunch. Them Fairground people, especially the walking ones.
That fair that they do over Malden is like all them rides there. They're like 60s rides. They're like old-fashioned rides, and it's good. Like it is good over there. I mean, if they do it again this summer, I'll probably go over there, but. It's the water, the one where they spin it really fast. That's the one that I like.
I like a good roller coaster, but obviously you don't really get a good roller coaster at the fairground. So I'm talking about more like theme park. But for what do I like? You know, the little wibbly wobbly one when you go through and you feel all like dizzy. Like the fun house, like what fucking John Travolta and what's that called?
Fun house where like you're walking and you're like up and down like that.
It's all weird, like it goes all funny, and you go walk through that tunnel and you feel like you're walking forever.
No, you walk through the tunnel, but it's spinning, and you feel like you're turning, but you're not.
Yeah, that's horrible, isn't it? Well, I don't know what they're called, to be honest with you, but yeah, they're all right.
What are they called? They're like
House of Fun.
House of Fun.
What's yours, Scott? What did you say?
Oh, mine was the Ace of Spades, the one where you stand against the wall and it just spins and then tilts.
Yeah.
I'll be honest as well. I'm a big fan of the bumper cars as well because I like seeing. You know, when you get on that car, and I'm telling you now, every bloke in here now does this. When they get on that car, they eye up the flash pricks and they think, right, I'm going for you. You probably. Do you know what I hate though? When you're just about to hit them and someone hits you and they knock you off the route and you're like, oh, for fuck's sake.
I went on bumper cars at Christmas. When I went to my company's Christmas do, they had bumper cars there, and I went on them a few times. Man, they hurt more than I remember. To be quite honest,
Yeah,
they make me laugh when they come round and say you got to put that little bit of string over you, like a seatbelt. Like, all right, mate, yeah, that's going to make me fucking safe, innit? My old neck's hard, mate. I've got electric above me, but that little bit of string is going to like keep me in.
Yeah,
they've got bumper cars at Alton Towers or Chesterton. I'm sure is it Chesterton? Yeah, it's Chesterton. I think they got bumper cars at Chesterton. When I took the boy there, he absolutely loved it. Getting on the old bumper cars, I was like, "Do you want to drive?" He went, "No, you drive." And just ramming into people. He loved it.
I've always been one. I love rides. I love them. I've been on some of the best roller coasters in the world. I've been on some scary ones as well, like the one in Las Vegas on the top of the stratosphere when they hang you over the building. Like, fuck that. That scared the life out of me, that ride. But yeah, I'm a sort of thrill seeker. I love all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Fairgrounds, roller coasters, love all of it.
Yeah, I'm more into them now than I was. I was a little while ago. I didn't really like them at all, but that's probably because I couldn't squeeze myself.
Right? I've just Danny Charles has just messaged me, right? Because I was thinking about this. We went on over memorials. And he's just messaged me saying we went on the spinning of hearts and diamonds or whatever it was. You know, when the one that holds you to the wall.
That's the Ace of Spades.
Ace of Spades. And he said one of our mates, and I remember this, old Stephen Ballman had an ice cream and it smashed him in the face. I'm glad Charles is watching though. I hope you're well, mate.
Yeah. Did you see any more questions, Scott? Go on, you can control the questions.
Our three favourite bands: Foo Fighters, Linkin Park, and the Rolling Stones. Nice, quick and easy one. Kev WH.
Oh, you're not even asked ours, Scott. No.
I know. You just asked me.
You just asked me. Right.
No worries. I'll let you catch between Nick, and I'll let you answer.
Go on, Mike.
My bands are Westlife, Boyzone, and Five.
Nicky.
Foo Fighters, Oasis, and Stereophonics, I think.
Yeah, the Phonics are good.
Someone asked me if I finished Dexter yet. Yeah, I did.
I haven't finished a new one yet, so don't spoil it. Kev WHUFC, who wanted him, Moyes or Sullivan?
I'll probably say Sullivan because Moyes ain't playing him. I just don't think he's cut out for the Premier League. I think it proved it against.
I mean, he fucking struggled against Kidderminster.
Yeah, and do you know what? Look, I think everyone struggled against Kidderminster. If I'm honest, I mean, if Kroll was one of these players, if you give him a little bit of run, he might improve. He hasn't really been given a fair crack, but there's a reason. There must be a reason behind it why he hasn't.
The thing is, Moyes come out and said that. That when he caught COVID, it's really affected him. He lost a lot of muscle tone, lost a lot of fitness and all that. And I just think you can't really judge that Kidderminster game because so many players had such a poor game. And it's one of them, like where we've said about before, where we thrust too many youth team players in and they all don't show up. I think Kidderminster was a bit like that for some of the bit part players. I personally, I think Moyes wanted him. I think he's a Moyes signing. He's a Moyes type of player playing in that midfield, but things just haven't worked out for him. Yeah.
I lost it.
I asked Ryan what his specialist subject would be at Mastermind. What would Nicky and Scott's specialist subjects be?
Well, Kaz asked me. I had the choice between Ghostbusters, West Ham, and boxing, and I think I chose Ghostbusters in the end. I think I'd probably know more about Ghostbusters.
Oh, what would I know most about? I don't know. But you can, the thing about, I think Mastermind is quite cheating because you can really specify certain subjects, couldn't you? Like, when they go on there, like, it's like, yes, Jonathan, and his specialist subject is Coronation Street between 1965 and 1970, and things like that. And I think, fucking hell, that's very specific, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but I'd go on there, and Ryan's specialist subject is EastEnders between Monday night and Thursday night.
Yeah.
I'd panic, or I'd get all panicky, and I'd end up throwing the chair at the geezer, and I'll fuck this and walk off.
It's one of the things, isn't it? When you watch game shows and stuff like that on telly, you sit there and think you answer all the questions right when you're sitting indoors. Think, I could do this, I could do this. You get there and then you just crumble, didn't you? Your mind goes blank and you can't do it.
It's the pressure of the lights and the cameras.
That's it.
Graham does that every week.
I'm really good at remembering useless knowledge and useless facts. Or otherwise, it's got to be what else about? I know quite a bit about bugs and stuff, so it'd probably be that, wouldn't it?
Fuck
Bugs.
Okay, yeah. I don't live with you, Scott.
I have done the same living for a long time, man. You pick up a few things, you learn quite a bit. So,
Yeah, but, all right then. What does a locust eat?
How do I know about a locust?
Pringles.
Well, that's a fucking insect, isn't it? Are you telling me like know about insects?
One's in this country anyway. Cliff says, "Are you doing Matchday experience videos for the Kid Minster one show, warts and all, for being West Ham fan?"
No, I'm going to concentrate on them for the FA Cup games. I'm going to concentrate on them for the FA Cup. That's why we done Kidderminster. Kidderminster was one I decided to bring it back for because it's a ground we don't visit that often. You know what I mean? Like, you don't want to see me going back to Old Trafford again, you know what I mean? And all of that sort of thing. But Kidderminster was one I brought it back because you don't go there that often. There's not many tickets available. I think it's a good experience for people to go to and things like that. So I'll be honest with you, I don't particularly like doing them. And that's totally honest because we used to do them all the time about 4 or 5 years ago now. We've done a lot at the bowling, which we documented that purposely because it was the last season at the bowling, and we wanted to sort of bring the audience along. But it's got to make sense. I think it's got to make sense. What's the point in doing one tomorrow at home to Newcastle? We played at home to Newcastle every year for the last 10 years or whatever it is since they've been in the league. I don't think, and most West Ham fans have already been there, but ones where we go to sort of Kidderminster, I want to go. I know we're going to Southampton for the FA Cup, but I'm going to carry on the FA Cup away days with that one. But it's very difficult because we do a lot of filming on sort of match days. We do filming before, we do filming after, we do filming tonight, we do filming on Sunday. The game really is the one where you want to watch it. We need to watch what's going on. We need to know, like be aware all the time about what's going on because we've obviously got to talk about it. And I felt when we was doing the away days like City and all that, they're funny, they're good and all that. We may bring them back to a certain aspect, but you're watching it through a lens. I might as well sit at home and watch it on telly. I'm just watching it on a shit telly, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like, you've got to worry about pulling the camera out. And I want to get, like, you see so many people now going to the games and pulling out their phones and all that sort of thing and recording everything. I think that's one of the things I like to do. I like to experience the moment. I want to experience the moment. I want to be in the moment. I don't want to be, I do so much filming. Well, we do so much filming all around the match day. That's the one time where we can sit there, relax, talk, and all of that sort of thing. But I do like to do the ones with the grounds that we don't get to visit that often, or if there's a certain journey and all of that sort of thing. So that's the reason, and I think that's quite a very valid reason.
That's it as well. When you look at, when you see videos of teams like Manchester United and stuff like that, and you see their fans and they've got their phones out the whole time recording things, or players score, and they're more ecstatic about filming that player scoring than the ball hitting the back of the net. And that's the problem with like you said, doing their Matchday vlogs. They are good. They're good videos, but I think you personally, when you're filming it, you lose a lot of the atmosphere of the day and what you're going to football for. As much as like we do this channel and stuff like that, we're going football to watch the team that we love and we support. And I think when we used to do the vlogs at Upton Park and stuff, I think it was good, but it took a little bit away from it. If you know what I mean, a little bit away from, like you said, your day, the atmosphere and the enjoyment of the game, because you're sort of worried all the time, aren't you? You've got to get the camera out at the right point. You've got to be recording at the right point. And you sort of concentrate more on that than you do the actual football. But as I said, they are good videos.
BPAC Rat Pack says, honestly, copy AFTV, just do what they do. We don't want to do that, man. We don't want to do that. Like, Rob's a good friend of ours, and we know Rob really well, and we know he's had sort of a lot of success doing what he does. But I don't want to copy and paste from another channel. We try not to do that too much. You know what I mean? That's why we come up with our own things, our own sort of niches and all of that sort of thing. We never, to be honest with you, like even West Ham channel, we never copy anyone. Everything that you see on our channel is original. It's an idea that's come from our mind. You see some other West Ham channels, they like to copy whatever people do. That's fine. Look, that's down to them. But anything we do, we like it to be original. So we don't like to copy and paste. You could get unbridled success copying AFTV, but we try to be different. That's what we do. We don't try to be that extreme, and I like all the guys over there, but it's not, it's not.
Yeah, we if we tried to copy other people, you wouldn't have shows like Post Match Pint. You wouldn't have this Friday Night Pint.
Scott, we ain't got a Post Match Pint show anymore.
No, I know. we need to get that back. But do you know what I mean? That's other channels have their ideas. Other channel we've seen other channels imitate our ideas, and you don't want to be, like you said, Nick. You want to be forward thinking. You want to come out and with something different, a different niche to the market, and that's why we are who we are. We're not trying to be anybody different. We're not trying to act up because the camera's in front of us. We're not acting up because we want to generate views. What you see when we do a reaction, what you used to see when we do post-match pint, is our honest opinion and us sitting there talking, no different to how we'd sit in a pub and talk together, or sitting, chat to on the phone, stuff like that. So that's what we're aiming to be. If it's not everyone's cup of tea, if people want to see people being silly in front of a camera, there's plenty of channels out there that do that.
I'll be silly.
Proper content on this channel, no need to change, top boys. No, I always think there's a need to change.
The thing is, I think it comes down to the people. I think it always comes down to the people. I mean, I've seen a lot of not only West Ham channels, other football channels and that, and I look at the people and I think they've got nothing between them. They're there, no one with us, we can have a bit of a banter, we can have a bit of a laugh, we can be serious and argue, but we never take that off camera. Whatever happens it stays there. If me and Scott or me and Nicky have an argument, I don't sit there after and think, oh fuck you, I ain't talking to him no more. It's done. But then we can go 40 minutes of the show arguing and the last 20 laughing about it and having a joke. And I think it comes down to the chemistry of the people you've got on screen. And that's something I think that you can't buy. And a lot of channels haven't got that. And that's one thing which I think separates us from a lot of other football related channels. We might not be the best, but we've got the best, in my eyes, chemistry.
It's just, whatever you do football content, you can have the best cameras, you can have the best equipment, you can have the best show ideas, you can have the best sets, you can have the best streams, you can have the best equipment, but you can't buy friendship. and we've all been friends for a very, very, very long time. And that's where, you know, as I said before, we spoke on the podcast clip earlier, Graham. I don't think Graham knows we're on YouTube. I honestly don't. I don't think he knows. I think he comes on here thinking we're doing a Zoom quiz like in lockdowns.
But as I said, and I said it on a podcast, I love Graham to bits, and we can banter him as much as we want. But if I'd stick up for that boy all day long, you know. And as I just said, you can't buy that. You can't buy chemistry. You can't. You just can't. I've watched other channels and I've seen 6 people on the screen at some time. And there's been times where people are talking and the others don't care, or they want to argue against them, and they want to. You just can't. We can all cut each other off and have a laugh, but we don't mean anything personal. Like if I said something against Scott, I don't mean it personally. It's just a laugh. Like Scott said something to me, or Nicky, or Graham, or Dan, or whatever. I don't take it personally. I take it as a bit of banter, and that's what mates do. That's what mates do in a pub. You go football, you banter each other. I see it every week. I see it all the time.
Yeah, exactly, mate. And that's it. And that's what we've always tried to be. We've tried to be us. Nothing different, just us. You know, what you see is what you get. And you know, that's what we're not playing up to the cameras. We're not trying to be anything different.
899 for Danny Morris. Thank you very much, mate. Ryan, can you give a shout out to my Mrs. Claire? She hates football and can't stand me talking about it. It's funny, she hasn't got a problem with West Ham fans even when Ryan talks, for fuck's sake.
To be fair, Claire, I hate football as well. I just whack this shirt on and pretend that I know what I'm talking about. But hello, Claire. Thank you for the donation as well, mate. Thank you for your support, both of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Chris Mills, we are lucky with West Ham with our channels, apart from Crow and you. When you compare some of the embarrassing shit from some other clubs, -- Tottenham, I don't know. Some of ours can be pretty bad as well, mate, to be quite honest with you. Like, there's a lot of... The thing is with West Ham channels, and I'm not going to name anyone, but there's a lot of politics between a lot of them. Like, you know, there's a lot of backstabbing going on behind the scenes. Like, I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to do anything. And I'll try and keep ourselves out there. I've got... You know, I like the people I like and I don't like the people I don't like. We've had run-ins with people. We've had discussions with people. I said during lockdown, I'm not going to take any more bollocks. Like, I'm not going to sit there smiling in people's faces and pretending I like them when I don't. You know what I mean? I'm going to say it how it is, and we're just getting on with what we're getting on with, and that's it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not worried about anyone else. So,
yeah, and that's all you can be, mate. All we can be is be yourself. Enjoy what we do. Look, we've done this for a long time. 6-7 years now. We've seen channels come and go. We've seen other people stick at it. You know, people get frustrated because they start a channel up and because they ain't got 1 million subscribers in 2 weeks, they give up. It's not about that. You know, it's about doing it, enjoying it. It don't matter if you've got 10 subscribers or 60,000 subscribers. As long as you enjoy doing it, that's all that matters, mate. And
I think that is exactly it. If you enjoy doing it, do it. You know, don't look at the audience. You know, build your communities. You know, build your base, build your fan base. You know, and I think there's a lot of people that do it for the wrong reasons, which is a shame. And I've heard, I won't name names, but I've heard people say things about other people. It's hard to explain, but about they all want to surpass us, and they want to be better than us, and they think they're better than us, and they think they deserve to be better than us, and all that sort of thing. Because we don't come across as very professional. You know, I get a lot of criticism for not being professional, but we're not trying to be professional. You know, we're trying to be real. And I've heard a lot of people saying to other people that, you know, they're gonna be bigger and better than us because they've got this now and got that now. And what these people don't understand is that we've had them things and they don't work, and you know, it doesn't touch, you know,
when it comes to West Ham YouTube. There are channels I watch. As I said before, I like seeing other people's opinions and to think to myself, like, when I say something, I like to see if other people say it. You know, I see Gio the other day, he give himself a little bit of criticism on his videos, saying that he don't think that he does well in interviews. I love watching Gio's interviews. I think he's really good at what he does. He's done some really good interviews the last few weeks, and he done the other one the other day with the under-23, the ex-under-23 manager. I've seen him interview loads of people, and I think with Gio, he needs to be a bit more, give himself a bit more fucking credit, because he's good at what he does. And I know he always messages me when I do an interview and he says, I really enjoy that. And I said, listen, mate, I enjoy yours as well. Like, and there's no politics between especially with me, between the West Ham world, because I watch loads of channels. I do. I watch Claret and Booze. I mean, they come on a Friday night as well. And I remember they messaged us or messaged me saying about, oh, we're going to do a Friday night show. Like, I don't want to step on it. Listen, do it. Just do it. Just enjoy doing it. It doesn't matter, because we're all here. We don't own YouTube. We don't own West Ham World or the West Ham YouTube world. Just enjoy doing it. When I finish this, I probably won't watch it straight away because, like, my missus is probably fuming. But I'll watch it tomorrow. I might watch it Monday. But I always watch. Someone said there, little Jake as well, and he does a great job as well on his channel. We've got Andy, one of our good mates, does West Ham Reunited, really good channel. So yeah, there's a lot of content out there. I think West Ham World's spoiled really with the amount of good people out there, but we're the best. I'm joking. We're joking.
I like to think that we're the original, and we keep it original. I'm not going to say we're the best. You don't deserve to say you're the best. You got to prove that you're the best. But we work hard and we travel a long way and we make efforts. Look, the watch-alongs and stuff, they do very well. I could well turn around and say next season, fuck traveling out to Liverpool next week. I'll sit indoors and do a watch-along because they do better than the stuff that I do there. But I won't. I'll be there because I want to watch the football first and foremost. And that's, the first.
As we've always said, if this channel ended tomorrow, we'd still be going West Ham on the way. We've done it since we was kids. So nothing's going to change that. We've just found a little bit of a hobby that we enjoy doing, talking about West Ham.
Yeah.
It's like a fanzine. You remember the fanzines that you used to get at West Ham? You used to read them as kids. And unfortunately, the way the world's gone, it is social media now. It is YouTube. It is Twitter. It is Instagram. It is whatever the other ones are, TikTok. We ain't got on that yet. I want to see me and Scott doing a dance on TikTok.
Yeah, we've got to get involved on the TikTok scene, haven't we? Somewhere.
We're growing it though, and the stuff on the Patreon is growing, and the YouTube channel is going to be more consistent. We're putting in the miles still. But we're going to bring a lot more content and regular content and scheduled content and things like that. And there are people on this channel that want to make it their living, and I'm determined that we can make a living out of it. So that's getting more views, more people, more content for the Patreon to give people value for money there. More viewers on the main channel, so growing the main channel to get more adverts on there, more sponsorships and all of that sort of thing. It's just got to be properly run, and we're gonna make it. And as I say, the more time we can put into it, the more you guys are going to get out of it. So there we go.
That's it, mate. Dave Brooks says, hey, fellas, you bring the show back to the United States. We've not been out to the States yet. Do you think you're stopping Kansas City?
I went out to the States.
Yeah, that's true. I forget about that. Sorry, I do apologise.
I've been out to the States.
No, doing the show, yeah. I remember Nicky.
Yeah, I've done the show. I've done something out there. I drank beer on behalf of West Ham Fan TV.
Yeah, I think if we're ever out there again, Nick, you'd do some stuff like that, wouldn't you?
I think David.
Out there again.
I think David is confusing us with the West Ham way. That's what I think's happening here. We never went out to the States. The West Ham way done a live show in the States. We never done a live show in the States. What I've done is I've done a video with people in Florida when we watched a game at Leicester a couple of years ago. But we never been out to the States. We've done a live show here, and there is potential to take the whole thing over to the States. It's just whether you want to see it, whether whether there's enough interest and all of that sort of stuff. But Yeah,
We've got to stop off at Ireland first. We promise you, Irish Hammers.
yeah.
They're our first port of call when we leave the.
I think David should organise the American trip for us.
Who?
David
David.
Brooks. David Brooks.
David, if you can get something, I don't know whether Kansas City is going to be the most popular. To be honest with you, I don't know whether that's.
I don't know. Dorothy from Wizard of Oz liked it.
No, but I mean, if we can do like somewhere where you would go for a trip, like Vegas or New York, or somewhere like that, Atlantic City, somewhere there's like a bit of a party atmosphere going, Miami, something like that, or Los Angeles. I think maybe that would be a more attractive thing.
Nicky don't want to go to Kansas, Scott.
I'll be honest, mate. I'm happy to go anywhere to do Friday Night Pint live.
Scott's happy to go down the local in fucking.
Exactly. Listen, talking about West Ham, being with you guys, meeting the people that we've built in the community, in the chat on thinking, that night that we've had where we done FMP live, it was brilliant.
Yeah, that's
and it was the people. It was the people there that made the night brilliant. And
that's what I need something to concentrate on. So I think that's what I'm going to start from next week, is start thinking about the next FMP live and try to get something sorted and a date sorted that we can all look forward to, maybe around end of April, May time before the end of the season, or maybe at the end of the season or something. But yeah,
that's it. That's what I listen. Wherever we go, it's meeting people, chatting to people, having a beer. It's that's what Friday Night Pint's about.
I was swimming in shots last time.
Yeah, I had so many shots that I don't remember certain things in the night. So
I think it's a night that we all needed at the time, because it was a long time after lockdown and things like that. But yeah, no, I think the next one will be better. We'll be more sort of, because it was all new to us. We'd never done anything like that before. Like, we were so used to sitting here like this, and then all of a sudden you find yourself on a stage with lights pointing, your mics in your hand, and you're thinking, shit, how do we keep this lot entertained? But no, it went well, and then we all got on a piss after. That was my only worry, that everyone was going to leave, and then we'd be there with a DJ and an empty bar. But everyone stayed, and yeah, no, it'd be good.
See that? Yeah, Roy May Jr. said Vegas, Miami, New York, Chicago, LA, New Orleans. I'll be biased and add San Antonio. Get some Tex-Mex margaritas. Get hammered on the Riverwalk.
Listen,
it says Miami, Vegas, New York now a bit far for me, but Chicago in the summer is very doable.
Well, let's look at Roy. Let's look at David. If you can sort a venue out, and talk to the people over in America, see if they're interested in it, I would quite happily arrange it tomorrow. There you go.
Yeah. Listen, 100%. I'd love to do something like that in the off season, pre-season. See how I went on American then, off season, pre-season. I mean, yeah.
Fair play to Nicky. Shook everybody's hand. Yeah, I did. I made a point of doing that as well. Like, as soon as I appreciated everyone that came out. I really did. Collect Torres, you should have Russell Brand on. He's already done the Geordie podcast. Russell would definitely come on. Well, I've emailed Russell and he hasn't got back to me. I would say that. So I'll chase him again.
As we said earlier, oh yeah, go on, Nick. You were clicking that as well. We will be
Can you fuck off?
I didn't touch it that time. That was you.
Hands off the mouse.
Yeah, stop your clicky mouse, right? WHF TV, Dublin first off, fuck off. Well, yeah.
I agree, mate. I agree.
Probably going to Ireland first.
I think that. Listen, if you just put out there, if he can sort a venue, message us on Twitter or Facebook or whatever, and we'll get something sorted. Maybe for the summer. Maybe we can have a West Ham party just before the new season. We can get a cheap flight over to Dublin. It's a place that I've always wanted to go. I've heard great. I've heard it's expensive, but don't worry, we're covered at the budget. But no, listen, Dublin's a great place, and I'd love to go there.
Yeah, I agree, mate. Agree.
Someone speak. It's awkward.
No, this is it. You know, it's just great meeting. You know, being able to meet different West Ham fans who from different walks of life. You know, from different countries.
And the good thing about the Irish is we know they love a drink, so they're not going to let us down, and they're going to be drinking all night long. And there's a lot of Irish hammers, and we can make that happen. And yeah, it'll be good.
Absolutely. Great crack. You will love it.
They love that word, don't they? Crack. Great crack.
Yeah. Wait for the crack, lads.
We're here for the crack.
And we could do our boys' own reunion out in Dublin. Right? I'm sure they'll really appreciate
I'm
that.
inviting Roland Keating and Shane Phelan to that night.
Roy May Jr. says, "Damn, headed into the weekend free and clear, and Nicky's giving me homework."
Well, good luck in your new job, by the way, man. I know you've been working very hard in the new job. So
Roy's retiring soon anyway from the army, so he's got loads of time on his hand.
No,
he's got a new job. He's going to do his estate agency, I think.
Yeah, he's all right. He can do it during his lunch break then. Sorting out West Ham Fan TV. There's a lot of people saying, "Look, book me in for Dublin." I think that'd be a good one.
KMB reporting that Newcastle are going to apply to get tomorrow postponed.
I don't think they can now, can they?
well, unless they're not down already. I
There's
would
not even no wind.
down.
I don't think there's any wind out there no more.
Unless
Well,
they had a
We'll
COVID
see in the
outbreak.
morning when we wake up. What I'm hoping for is that the C2C is going to be running tomorrow morning, because if not, I've got to drive and now fume. I'm fuming because I was looking forward to having a few drinks after the game, because we've got Nick Tutler coming down and obviously Charlotte. I haven't seen them for ages, so I'm looking forward to a few drinks with them. So yeah, I'll be Jose Fuminio. Fuming.
I said that I think it's cancelled. I said that I think it is cancelled. I said that I think it is cancelled. What does it?
I don't think. No, I think she means that the game. I haven't seen anything.
I can't see it. I would have thought Newcastle would have travelled down. Yes, like when we were saying.
Do you know what? I hope they don't cancel it. I hope we give them a good idea. They've been really fucking sneaky with all this cancelling game business they have.
Oh, Ben's down, trains are running okay. So yeah, happy days. I'll be on the 10:16 into West Ham at 11, and then out after. But one thing I do want to mention as well. But go on, Scott. Right.
No, I was just saying I've got such a busy day tomorrow. It's my wife's birthday. I've got to go to work, get back for the game, then we're out. Then I've got to come back and try and sort her out a nice dinner. So yeah, it's gonna busy day tomorrow.
Take away. You know what? One thing I do want to mention is that a good friend of ours, good friend of the show, Jimmy Walker, is back in the football club. I've been wanting this to happen for so long, and I was so happy. And do you know what? I knew about this a little while ago, but I'm not in the know. I don't want to tweet it and all that. It's not my responsibility to tweet it to let everyone know. I wanted Jimmy to announce it, and I think his missus announced it on a Facebook page. But no, I love it. It's lovely. He's back with the youth, working with Kenny Brown as well, another good friend of the show. So I'm so glad he's back. Look, I'm not a name dropper. I don't, but I'll get on really well with Jimmy. I speak to him all the time. You know, we ring each other up. We talk about West Ham and that, and I love it that he's back at the football club. I'm so happy for him, because when I spoke to him a little while ago about it, and he didn't think it was going to happen, and he said, my dream job is to come back to West Ham just to work with the youngsters, and he's got it, and he's still going to do the match day stuff, the ambassador stuff, and you know he's got other plans, but. No, I'm so glad he's back. Really am. He's such a top bloke, and you know, I've been lucky enough to meet a lot of football players, but he is the best for me. As a person, he's the best. Love him. Love Jimmy Walker.
Yeah, he's a top bloke. You know, he's when we've met him, he's always got time to chat to you. He's a really nice fella. And every time we always say about going out for a beer with him, and each time we can either someone's driving or like FMP Live. He had work the next morning.
Well, the funny thing is, he was down here. He was down this way the other week, and he rang me up, and we was talking, and he said, "Do you want to go out for a beer?" And I was like, "I can't." I had something planned, and I tried to move them around, but I couldn't. I just couldn't get out of it. But no, he's a top bloke, and honestly, I'm so glad he's back at the football club now. Yeah. Really am, and he honestly, I can't speak highly enough of him. I really can't. He's such a lovely bloke, down to earth, And to think he only ever played 13 games for West Ham, but he's such a great bloke, and I love him. And as I said, I'm glad he's back at the football club, and we're getting some good We're getting some good ex-players back at the football club now. The academy, the first team. It's good. It's nice to have that little family connection. People coming in that know the club.
The thing is, as well, the players, the ex-players, that are coming in, they're players who have got good vibes about them. Do you know what I mean? They've got some good banter. They're good guys as well as being, fairly decent players for the club, and they know what the club's about and what the club means. And it's gonna it'll rub off on the youngsters. It will rub off on the youngsters.
The first thing I said to him was when he said he's back, I said, "Well, the Christmas party's just got a lot better." I think because you got Kevin Nolan back there now. I said, "Let's get Andy Carroll back, and then you got the band back together."
Yeah, I'm really losing you. Am I right? Do I sound all right to you?
Yeah, you're fine, mate.
I just thought you weren't happy that Jimmy Walker was back at the club.
No, it just keeps on going in and out. I can't barely hear what you're saying, but yeah, he's a great guy. I've always liked Jimmy since we first met him. Fuck, it must be 6-7 years ago now. For the first time, he came down to our old bar. We had an interview with him. He was one of the first people we interviewed, and it was just. It was like he walked in the bar and it was like, I think the first time we do them sort of things, you're a bit in awe of players that have played for the club. You know what I mean? Like we're a bit better now, like more, easy around people. But like at first, you're meeting people that have played for the football club that you love, and I'm thinking, wow, you know what I mean? Like, and they're talking to you like, like you're their friend and they know you. But out of them all, he was the one that instantly connected. He was just like a mate that's coming for a chat. It was just like that, and it's really
it is mad because he messaged me. I woke up the other morning a couple of weeks ago and I had a message on my phone and it was like, "Can I give you a call later? I need to pick your brains about something." And I was like, "Fuck, what's going on here?" And he rang me up and we had a chat, and that's when he was telling me all about going back to the club. And it was, as I said, mate, I'm the same as anyone. Anyone that's ever met him never has a bad word to tag him. I'm so glad he's back at the football club, as I am Kenny Brown as well. I think he's been a great appointment for the football club. And the club is going in the right direction with this academy, definitely.
100%, mate.
All right.
Sandwiches.
Why are you proud of your London route? Says B Rat Pack.
Why am I proud of my London route? Because we're the best city in the world. No, I am. Look, anywhere you go in the world, people hear your accent. They want to talk to you. We've got that East End accent. We speak the Queen's English. As you know. I'm proud. Like when people ask, like, where you're from, I'm the same. I'm Ryan Archer. I was born in Mile End, and I lived in Canning Town. And I know Dan has his little joke about Canning Town and things like that. I know some people jump on it, but I was, and my mum and dad still live there, and I'm in Canning Town all the time. And well, if things work-wise, if things go their way, I might be back there a lot more than what I thought I was going to be. But I love it. People saying apples and pears. I really try to stay away from the rhyming slang. Sometimes I'll chuck a bit in, but I really do. I'll stay away from all that. But yeah, people know when they hear my accent, they know where I'm from.
I find myself, especially like East London, for me, like Canning Town for me, it like fuck me, I moaned about it when I was there. Sometimes I hated it when I was there, and I've been gone for a long time now. It's changed a lot. Don't get me wrong, but every time I go back there, I feel like I'm at home. You know what I mean? Like I remember walking the streets, playing in the fields. Most of that's going now, so you do get a little bit disconnected. But what I'm more proud of in terms of that is that I feel lucky to have grown up there. Was it a perfect upbringing? No, fucking it wasn't. Did we struggle for money and food and that? Yeah, at times we did. Couldn't even put fucking shoes on our feet at times, you know what I mean? But my mum worked very, very hard, and I'll give a shout out to my mum because she's not been very well. She came home today from hospital, so you know, she's gone through something a little bit nasty of late. But was it easy? No, it wasn't. It wasn't easy at all. But did I have the good time? I don't think I'd have had a better time anywhere. The people I know from there, the people that I grew up with, my friends, you know, I know everyone's gonna say this, but I think I had the perfect mix of friends. There was no leading each other astray. We all went on the right path, and we was all good, and we all looked after each other, and we you know, supported each other, and that you know, I knew some fucking villains in the area, people that, you know, that have done fucking, you know, some of the big robberies and things that you've read about in newspapers and things. And they all looked after us, and it's I know it sounds horrible to say that sort of thing, but they did. They looked after us. They made sure we was all okay, and our mums and dads never struggled and things like that. And you know, some of them are my mates' parents and things like that. But what I was really feel lucky about, and I don't think you realise this to your left, is that, especially with the West Ham connection, West Ham was a big part of my, you know, our lives growing up, and I could walk there. And I grew up there. You know, I used to ride up there every fucking weekend on my bike, and then I started going, and then, you know, I was very, very fortunate. You know, see a lot of people that, you know, you don't realise, the West Ham fans that you do see in the grounds now, how far they have to travel to it, and you know, to say that you grew up in the shadow of it, I think we was very fortunate, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I agree, mate. And the thing is, like, as I said, my mum and dad still live in Kent. They're not moving for fucking nothing, mate. They're settled. They've lived there since the 70s. Like, I every time I go back there, I feel, as you said, I feel like I'm at home. And every time sometimes I drop my car off at my mum's to go West Ham. When I walk down to the station, to Star Lane or West Ham, wherever, I always see the old girls and the old boys that I grew up knowing. They always say hello, and they're still the same people around there. And it is, you know, I can't fault my childhood. I had a really good childhood, and I've got some great friends that I'm still in contact with now. You know, we might not see each other all the time or speak all the time, but as soon as we get on the phone to each other, it's like we've never been away from each other. And you know, I love it. I'm not ashamed of my roots. I'm not ashamed of where I'm from. I'll always, you know, wherever I go in the world, when they say, where you from? I say, I'm from Canning Town. You don't know it? Fucking look it up. Then you know it. It's a lovely part. We had a lovely George's Pie Mash shop. I follow this Pie Mash group on Twitter, and they put a picture up of George's Pie Mash the other day, and I was almost in tears because I love that place. I love the old Hermit Road. You know, the Hermit Road, you had the veg, the fruit and veg shop, you had the bakers. My nan worked there for years. You had the Pie Mash, you had the AS Windows, the jewelry shop. You know, it's different now.
It's all shop at the end, the video shop, the arcade machines outside, Percy Ingle, Save,
Max's Caff. You know,
Gateway. Yeah,
you had the Salisbury. You know, that's how we grew up. You know, you as you said, you knew villains that your mum and dad knew, and you was always felt like looked after, and everyone knows each other. I still go back to as I said, my mum and dad's now, and I'll see people that I ain't seen for years, like my mates' mum and dads, and they'll all say hello, and you have a little chat, and yeah, it's a community around there. It's not obviously it's a lot different now than what it was. I mean, as you said, like Rathbone Market, like it's not even a market no more. It's just like, well, I don't even know how to describe it. It's like a pizza. If you'd have put that pizza restaurant back in the late 80s, early 90s, it probably would have got burnt down. There's a lot of great pubs gone. Everyone remembers Murkoff's and Wag Bennett's and what was the Granitors, the old shop where you used to go and get your Ben Shermans from.
Yeah.
Woolworths, Wimpy. It was a great area, great growing up. I'm sure there's a lot of people that's proud of where they're from, and I'm definitely one of them.
John Murdoch, British born till 9, then born British Street till 9, and then Rathbone Street, Tant Avenue. Happy days, walk from to and from the ground. My two aunts lived in Tant Avenue for a long time.
I remember, like when West Ham played at home, I used to walk down Star Lane to Nicky's house, knock on his door, and then we'd take that long walk down the Barking Road. But this is what makes me laugh with Nicky. He moans about walking from Stratford Station to the London Stadium, saying it's too long. But we used to walk that whole length of that Barking Road, which was a double what that is. But it was just, you used to walk down that Barking Road and you'd walk past pubs and you'd see your mates, and then you'd all join together and you'd carry on walking up, and then you'd get to the bowling. And listen, it's gone now, but you could never take their memories away from us. They were the best days for me.
It's the only thing with the London Stadium being where it is. It takes that, you used to soak up the East London atmosphere walking towards the bowling.
You always get someone trying to flog something to you as well.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
That flog you like a pair of shoes. Like, mate, I'm going football. What do I fucking want to? I'm a size 8. What do you want a size pair of fucking 12 Dr. Martens for that were moody?
But it always felt different walking to the bowling. Like when you see other fans walking there and seeing them with shirts and stuff like that, compared to what it is now walking to London Stadium. Do you know what I mean? It felt different. You felt part of something going to Upton Park. You don't have that feeling anymore going to London Stadium for me.
I don't know. I don't think it's as bad as it was, but yeah, you'd never get that. I know what you mean. You'll never get that sort of feel again. Hopefully one day we will, but I doubt it.
Oh, Jared Bowen's got a road to the final FIFA card. That won't mean absolutely nothing to you two, but I apologise for that. I've just seen it on Twitter.
What happened?
Jared Bowen's got a road to the final FIFA card. You don't know. You ain't got a clue what I'm talking about here.
Yeah, put me down for 2.
What it means, right, is that he gets an upgraded card. So he starts on 86, yeah? And every round we progress, he then moves up the rating. So he goes to an 87, 88, 89. And if he goes to the final, we get like a 90 rated card. It's important.
Okay. No, I remember that. Is he on FIFA 98? But I don't think there's many. Someone's just said there, the Greengate pub. I remember the Greengate pub was one of the first nights I tried to go out. Do you remember? We all went out. We all got out of the cab trying to, when you try to look older, you do your hair a bit different. You put on a suit jacket, and we couldn't get in because one of our mates got out of the cab and decided to put his baseball cap on. So we ended up in the that was the Greengate was over 18s. And we ended up going to the Village Wine Bar and getting in with the over 21s. We had some good nights in the Village Wine Bar. That was their memories I'll never forget. I remember one night we was in there. We all got in there. The bouncers let us in, and we're all standing at the back thinking, right, we've got to go to the bar now. Again, they won't serve us. I went, well, of course they're going to serve us. We got in, and we all ended up buying Smirnoff Ice and WKD Blue. And we're all dancing away, and the old Bill raided it, and we all threw our drinks on the floor because we were all
Yeah, but the thing is, right, this is the thing, yeah, you're all worried about going to get, because you're underage, you're all worried about going to get a drink, and you buy the most chaviest, youngest drink that you can buy.
We was talking about them drinks in work the other day. I was thinking like Bacardi, Breezer, Hooch, I think Hooch is back now. I see Hooch the other day in the shop.
A lot of them drinks, when you go to like places that do 90s nights and 90s nights, then type of thing, they sell the drinks. So you get your WKDs, your Smirnoff
Village
Ices,
Wine Bar. I'll never forget it. I was like 16 at the time, and I managed to get in Village Wine Bar somehow. And I remember this is how bad it was, Scott. I used to go in like black trousers, trying to make myself look older. And I remember some bird, like she must have been in her 30s at the time, was like dancing next to me, and I sort of shit myself. I was like, "Ooh, happy." Great memory. I wouldn't change my childhood and my upbringing for nothing. Honestly, I wouldn't.
The Village ended up at a fight club. Yeah, there was always a fucking punch up in there, man. It always seemed to happen on my table.
No, but it always ended up down that little fucking alley bit, you know.
The little alley thing, yeah. But it always seems just that we'd have a table there. We'd be putting our drinks in there, and every fight that kicked off always ended up on our table, knocking all of our drinks down, and then going down that little alley bit where the toilets wouldn't that work.
As we got a little bit older, we ended up going Wheelers in Stratford, and then as we got a little bit more older, we ended up in O'Neill's in Leytonstone. So we sort of ended up going that way. Yeah,
a bit like most of Essex, most of Canning Town, you end up starting spreading towards Essex. We done it with where we used to drink. My local was the Coach and Horses, up by the Black Lion.
I remember the first night me and Nikki ever went O'Neill's. It was Halloween, and I mean your mum was in there that night, wasn't she, Nick?
Yeah, she was. Yeah,
I remember we all went there and we was thinking, "What's this like? What's this place?" And everyone was dressed up, and me and Nikki was just like, because we come from Wheelers. We was like in like jeans and a shirt, and everyone's dressed up like Halloween. And then I don't think we left there for about 8 years after that.
it was good, mate.
We used to do Friday night, Saturday night, and I think we even used to start slipping in Thursday nights as well.
Yeah,
it was good. I remember being there once on a Thursday night when Nicky was on crutches; he couldn't even walk. He kept leaking.
Yeah, I remember that, man. That's when I had my accident.
Oh mate, like
we had some great.
They were great. That's why, like sometimes I like going to the West Ham Way events because like I sit in the O'Neill's and I just remember I'm thinking like we're sitting here watching whoever on stage and I think I used to dance on this dance floor. Like, I used to try to crack on little treacles on this dance floor.
Yeah,
good memories. Good memories.
Right, let's talk about Newcastle tomorrow before we wrap it up because we've been going a long time now. This is a tough one. This is a hard one to call.
Yeah, I mean it's a massive boost for us with Kieran Trippier being out. Obviously Callum Wilson as well. You know, the only thing that worries me is that Chris Wood hasn't scored for Newcastle yet, and he loves to go against West Ham. But do you know what? I think we're going to win tomorrow. I don't think it's going to be easy. I think it's going to be a tight game. Could be a 1-0 or a 2-1, something like that. But Newcastle got a good record at the London Stadium. I think they've won 3 out of their last 4 there. So I'd probably rather be playing them at St James's, if I'm honest. So yeah, I can see us sneaking it. It'll be tough, but I can see us sneaking it. I can see us sneaking it tomorrow.
We've got to turn up.
Yeah, we need to turn up. But it's a big boost for us, them not having Trippier.
Yeah, because I think I was talking to a Newcastle fan today in work. I think he was saying to me about Trippier as their top goal scorer. He's only got 2 goals.
That's grim, isn't it?
And he got more goals for Newcastle than he had for Spurs.
I said it when he signed for him. I know that you all saying he went for the money and that, and whether he did, I don't know. But he is a good player, Trippier, and he can, he's a good right back. He creates chances and he scores goals as well. And I'm looking forward to the game tomorrow. As long as it goes ahead, I don't want to wake up in the morning and it's not gone on. It's not on, but I fancy
it seems that they have applied for in the last 30 minutes for a postponement on crowd safety grounds. It's highly likely going to be played tomorrow.
That's what I'm saying. So we won't really know until later tonight or early in the morning. But
yeah, I'm presuming they're talking about their own fans coming down from Newcastle,
which is yeah.
I haven't seen anything any damage of the London Stadium or
But,
around London.
this is what I do hope we beat Newcastle tomorrow. Not just for our points, but they've done this a lot. They've done this a lot in the COVID thing. They postponed. You know, they tried to make the maximum amount of COVID situation because now they're a completely different team than they was before the fucking postponements.
I think potentially they've got 9 players missing tomorrow. So Trippier's obviously out. I think the right back that come on for him in that game is out as well. So they've got no right back. So
I think the interesting thing is obviously Saint Maximum. He's a world class player at the end of the day, and when he's on form, he can give any right back a bit of trouble. So whether we go with Johnson tomorrow or Soufal, that's a big call from David Moyes. It'd be interesting when the team sheet comes out tomorrow. But no, as I said, I fancy us tomorrow. It'll be a difficult game. I could probably see them scoring as well, but it might be a tight 2-1. It might be one of them games where we go 1-0 down and we end up bringing it back. But let's just hope that we spoke about him at the beginning of the show. But let's hope Antonio turns up tomorrow and he gets himself a goal. And because someone said earlier, apparently he's got a great celebration plan. So I'll take that. I want to see it.
I don't want him planning the celebration. Just fucking score a goal first.
Yeah. Score a goal and then worry about it. But
yeah.
Right. Listen, it's not going to be an easy game. It's not going to be an easy game by any means. They're going to be buzzing. They're confident. You know, I think some of their fans probably think that we're favourites going into this one. But when you look at the two teams and how we've played lately and how they've been playing, you know,
but you say that, Scott. I watched them against who did they play the other week? Watford at home. And they were terrible. I think that was actually Trippier's debut as well. They were terrible. But as you said, back-to-back wins. You know, they've got that little bit of a
3
run
wins on
going.
the spin now, I think, isn't it? 3 wins out of the last 4.
Yeah. And as I said, at the London Stadium, they've got a good record. So it won't be easy tomorrow. And I hope their fans get down safely and the game goes ahead because they always bring a good crowd. Newcastle, they're vocal fans. You know, they love their club.
It's a decent set of fans, Newcastle. I said when I went up there when Nicky started the season, they seemed like a decent set of fans.
I really like their fans. I really do like their fans
because they're like us. You know, they love their football club and they're supporting through the Championship, the Premier League. They're still selling out in the Championship like we was. So they're a great bunch of fans, and let's hope that they're not smiling tomorrow though. Come 2:30 or whatever it is.
Newcastle Twitter saying they're confident going to be postponed players having unpacked bags. What the fuck? They haven't unpacked bags. What are you saying? Like they haven't had enough time, or they're just going to go straight home?
Yeah, let's hope that the game does go ahead tomorrow because if not, it's another midweek game we've got to do.
Yeah,
I think it should go ahead. Well, unless it's unsafe for people to. But I'm looking out there now. There's not a fucking bit of wind, so. But I haven't seen the forecast for tomorrow.
Oh yeah, I agree. Fan safety definitely comes first. So, but as you said, I'm looking out the window now, and there's
yeah.
Oh fuck me! The furniture's flying. My garden furniture's flying.
No, we all know. Now, Nick's travelled down from Burnley. I know it's like the opposite side of the north, but still, he's managed to get down.
Still north, got all the same, mate.
Yeah, you know, I don't quite get it. Don't quite get it.
Go on then, Scott. See us out tonight, mate.
I just want to say, Matt, I've just seen your message on Twitter. I haven't been looking at my DMs on Twitter, so I've just seen it. I think I'll talk to Nicky after the show and we'll get that sorted for next week. I know we said we were going to sort it last week, but
what is it?
Matt becoming a mod. We couldn't work out how to do it last week.
Talk to Lawless. He can do it.
I spoke to Lawless. He can't remember how to do it.
No, for fuck's sake.
He was going to work it out this week, but I ain't spoke to Lawless until today, so yeah, we'll get that sorted, mate. I'll message you back as well in a minute. So
okay,
yeah. Thanks everyone for watching this week's edition of Friday Night Pint. We will be back with plenty of content tomorrow. Go check out my preview, which got uploaded this morning. We'll be back with fan cams, post-match reaction, and I'll be back next week with another preview. And yeah, anyone else got anything to say?
No, I haven't.
Then there's only one thing left to say. Come on, you irons.